run by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at mypatriotsupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at mypatriotsupply.com.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Strap yourselves in, my friends. It is already Wednesday, the 15th day of May, 2013. Hard to believe we're almost halfway into 2013 and halfway into the rest of our lives. It is an adventure, and there is no turning back, so embrace it, live it with gusto, and leave your mark for liberty and freedom and constructive development for human society. That's what marks a human being from a globalist animal who is out of control, operating as a cancer on the face of this globe. Well, it's information overload as the quickening accelerates, as more and more happens across the world, and as the absurdist whitewashing of the corporatist press and of the White House intensifies, trying to make excuses for the manifest lying that's going on. And there's a Hill article, talking about the fact of why is the press all starting to turn against Obama? It's because they realize that they have no relevance if they don't. They already realize they've lost relevance, and the article goes into how Drudge is able to focus on the White House corruption, and so the media then follows that. What Drudge is able to do, what InfoWars is able to do, what any other real media is able to do, is show you what they said a month ago versus what they're saying now. And then we'll show you what they say tomorrow in context right next to each other. The headline is Obama needs a Drudge. But Obama doesn't want a Drudge because Drudge is showing how Obama changes his story and gets caught lying every day. It's like a time capsule or something. And all they do at Drudge, and all we do at InfoWars, and all you do out there in your own life is have a memory and go, wait a minute. They admitted they were going after libertarian and conservative tax-free groups 3 years ago. They've had MSNBC call for a purge. But now America, because of all the other Benghazi gates and everything else, and breaking into the media and spying on the media and persecuting whistleblowers, now the public is ready to see it in the light for which it really is, out of control. Extremely dangerous, authoritarian. So that is just some of the news that we are going to be covering and going over today. And Infowars.com has been having intermittent issues. A few weeks ago, we were being hacked or attacked different ways, and right now, we can punch it up on screen. We need to let IT know. They probably never will. I'm being sarcastic. Service unavailable. This server temporarily unable to service your request due to maintenance downtime or capacity problems. Please try again later. So you will need to go to drudgereport.com to find a lot of the stories I'm going to be covering, obviously. Look at this headline. What are these weird street signs being installed in Las Vegas? And they look just like the IntelliStreets designs that Homeland Security is spending billions of dollars on, where street lights and power poles become surveillance grids. And then they also give the public orders And in the future of these companies, there's several admit you'll wave your ID card in front of it or stand for a face scan. And what they do is they bark orders demanding you line up in front of the computer or the SWAT team is coming. I'm not joking. And there's also a video of people out in California. The cops come to the door. The kids are playing in the yard. They go, we're going to come in and make sure there's no disturbance. They said there is no disturbance. So the cops bust in and then taser both the man and woman who were doing nothing as punishment.
With health threats on the rise, such as West Nile virus, MRSA, CRE, and now the new bird flu recently discovered in China, there has never been a more crucial time to support your immune system. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary new silver solution that is clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver and is powerful enough to help protect you and your family. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, highly effective, and perfect for everyday use inside the body as well as out. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands for improved health and immune system support. To find out how Supernatural Silver can change your life, go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SPRING2013 for 20% off and like us on Facebook.
In the last 2 years alone, the U.S. has seen huge losses to our food supply. In 2011, storms and floods raged across the U.S., costing us $20 billion in lost crops alone. In 2012, we saw the largest drought in the country in more than 50 years. You may think out of sight, out of mind, and so you don't think you will be affected. The fact is you are. We all are. Food shortages drive prices up for everyone. You might not be able to control Mother Nature, but you can control your food prices by freezing the cost and availability of your food supply with eFoods Direct. Be prepared before you need it. With nutrient-dense food you can store for up to 25 years. You can hope for the best, but hope won't feed you. Do what I've done and get your own supply of the best storable foods out there from eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633 or visit them on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex and check out their spring specials. Again, that number is 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes, so there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Alex Jones. Thank you so much for joining us. It is the 15th day of May, 2013, and I'm going to open the phones up throughout the 3 hours today. Dr. Corey Gold's talk show host in his own right is going to be joining us to give us his take on Benghazi Gate, IRS Gate, media spying, persecution gate, whatever you want to call it. What is behind all this and where is it going? There's now talk, which is good. That's where it should be going, by Boehner, of all people, the Speaker of the House, to go after Obama or people in his party, in his criminal government, with criminal charges. They're talking about who is going to go to jail. Someone needs to go to jail, and national polls are out showing the majority of Americans want jail time for these criminals as well. We have footage up on Infowars.com of out in California. The police come and say, we heard there's a report of loud voices. And the family says, well, nothing's going on here. Kids are playing in the yard. We don't need any help. The cops say, we're going to come in. And you're going to get on the floor. And they say, no, you need a warrant for that. And that's what the courts have ruled. And they kick the door down, and the people have their hands up, and they both taser them as punishment. We're going to play that video and audio later. And then there's new footage up on Infowars.com of a reporter who went to an area northwest of London to actually visit a friend. And while he was at it, thought, well, nearby is the Grove Hotel where Bilderberg's going to be meeting in a few weeks. Google is already set to meet there next week. And a helicopter came over, and then police. First, he's like, oh, is that helicopter hovering over, over me for them as I walk down a country road, just wanting to videotape, a golf course. And then police show up and say, we've got to put you basically in a database. Give us your info. Why are you here? And secret police all over the place. And this is the essence of secret police, where they just say, hi, we're here to look into what you're doing. We're here to put you in a database. We're here to make you answer questions. And then you say, well, I'm not going to answer your questions. Well, we're going to beat you up and say that you resisted us. And it doesn't matter if it's on tape. They have kept juries that will put you in jail. We have the biggest prison population in the world here in the U.S., and it's only getting worse. And the system wants the police to act in a thuggish way against the public and train us that we're all criminals when the real criminals in government are above the law. And again, I'm not saying all police are bad. In fact, a lot of police, most police are actually good people that sign up for the real reasons. But the thugs, the bullies are being promoted to the top, and they are protecting the thugs. And there's a conversion over to the way police forces are in North Korea or Mexico. Now, that said, we reported last year on IntelliStreets and other companies getting Homeland Security grants to put microphones and cameras and face scanning cameras. And New York's already putting these up in systems that scan through your clothes, quote, looking for weapons. So again, guilty until proven innocent, piercing your clothes, violating the Fourth Amendment. Because your person, the clothing over you is your privacy. Is your privacy. It's very, very simple. And we need your help up on Infowars.com with an article that we've got posted. What are these weird street signs being put up all over Las Vegas? And you look at them, they have the symbol of a badge on them with computer screens above, in the center, and below. And they then have wiring going up to what looks like little command pods on the top of them. And these are clearly police communication hub/spy grids. But we need to identify exactly what company it is. The folks that sent us these images, I wish they would have gone to the back of the panels and looked for the stamp of manufacture, because that would let us know. But this is definitely some type of Google-type wireless grabbing spy pod, command pod, because we can see the communications arrays. But it's also clearly there to give orders and commands to the public. A decade ago in England, they put up as the test ground thousands of telescreens that actually bark orders at you, and that it has a computer with set messages, but then also the police can come over it and demand as it barks orders. There's the headline: talking surveillance cameras coming to U.S. streets. That's May 14th, 2012, almost exactly a year ago. Wow. Talking surveillance cameras coming to U.S. streets. IntelliStreet system now being installed with DHS backing. And it looks like the IntelliStreet or one of the other companies, but we need to confirm that indeed these are going in. And then it tells you, present yourself, show ID. The new IDs, have the RFID chips in them in every state. And then you present yourself via the digital photo of your driver's license, and it scans you. It takes a digital photo, and that's the new system where you're walking, and it goes, stand up straight, up against the wall. Failure to do so will respond in police presence. Then the cops pull up. They're like, why didn't you stop back there? Well, I'm going somewhere. All right, buddy, up against the wall. Yeah, yeah. Hey, welcome to America. And by the way, we have video of this happening more and more. And then they'll beat somebody to death, and if you videotape it, they'll beat you to death. Or they'll put you in jail, even when the footage comes out. I mean, they'll put a guy in handcuffs, shoot him right in the back, and then grab everybody's video, cameras. I mean, you've seen those cases. This is all a giant control grid for us where we are the hunted. And again, it's going to stop crime. The government runs the motorcycle gangs, runs the drugs, launders the money. They run the child kidnapping, all of it. All of it. I mean, look it up. Help me. Homeless man begs as cops fatally beat him in videotaped incident. Now, that was one of the famous ones out in California. There was just another one where they grabbed everybody's video, tapes, all their phones, took people to jail, you name it. And I think that's good. I think anybody videotaping police should be executed. By the way, I've got some articles I'm going to get to. I'm being sarcastic, folks. I've got some articles. Are Austin police shootings a growing trend? KI. A growing trend? They are way up. And I've said we've got a better department here in Austin than the many cities I've been to. But still, I mean, look at the benchmark we're at. Like, yeah, okay, Austin police are a lot better than North Korea. They're a lot better than New York police, but I don't want to become that. Exclusive, shootings by Philly police soar as violent crime plummets. Philly.com, Philadelphia Inquirer. And it goes through how they just pull people over and just shoot them. And that's the same thing happening in Austin. They pulled a guy over, and he got out and didn't do anything, and then they started shooting at him. Because he reportedly put his cell phone in his pocket. You get out of the car, you got your cell phone, all right. Oh, boom, boom. And because they're so afraid, because they all go watch Olympus Has Fallen, they all go watch these movies, and they really believe that there are people trying to kill them everywhere, as the violent crime rate has dropped 49%. I've been reporting this for months. The Justice Department finally put out a full report on it. In the L.A. Times, here's the L.A. Times headline, gun crime has plunged, but Americans think it's up, study says. And it's cops as well. I mean, if you talk to a cop now, like you'll see a cop walking down the street, like, hey, how's it going? They're like, why are you talking to me? I mean, it's fear because, they go watch 24 and they watch all these cop shows. And it's not just the cops, it's the general public. They literally believe terrorists are everywhere. Of course, I've seen the numbers. It varies year to year, but usually in an average year, you're about 13, 14 times. You can look this up, folks. More likely to die as a police officer in a car wreck or being run over by a driver, and cops know this if you really think about it, than you are to be shot. And it's just the wicked flee when none pursue. And if you're not wicked, that message isn't for you. But I just don't get it. I mean, this isn't real. The video games aren't real. The TV shows aren't real. There aren't really terrorists except for ones the globalists manufacture 99% of the time. I have found real terror attacks that have happened in the Middle East where it's asymmetrical warfare, where people fight. It's just war. But to demonize somebody you're in a war with, I'm not taking sides here. I'm just saying they're really asymmetrical. There is asymmetrical combat that goes on, and that is called terrorism. Now, when the West funds al-Qaeda to attack Libya and Syria and engage in, we looked at the number, 120,000 dead, most of them civilians, by al-Qaeda. 120,000 dead in the last 2 years in Syria, and growing. Lining the Alawite minority up, killing them, killing Christians, Jews, and it's called a protest. When they attacked the ambassador over the 6 to 8 hours in Libya, it was called a protest. So real terrorists are called protesters. And there it is. Syrian death toll likely as high as 120,000, group says. That is from just yesterday out of the Huffington Post. But I think it's an AP article in Huffington Post. The point is that, see, I'm glad you pulled that up, guys. People don't think I'm making this stuff up. People just get amazed I can rattle off statistics. You can rattle off baseball scores, but you can't rattle off 69% drop in wounding fatalities. I mean, in a wounding, 39% in shooting fatality drops, and 49% overall violent crime rate drop since 1992. Look it up. I covered this last week. It's L.A. Times now. Of course, we've been telling you this since those statistics came out a few months ago, but now here it is, mainstream news. Mainstream news. So that's just some of the videos and some of the articles that are up on Infowars.com right now. Shock video, California police break into home, tase victims, and the people are like, calm. They're like, okay, you just broke in our house, nothing's going on. People have their hands up like good victims, and the cops taser them both. And people are even on my website defending it, going, well, we don't know what was going on in there. You go, hey, everybody, if they show up at your house, hands up, come out, we're going to search your home without a warrant. It's the new America. And it's all getting you ready to take your bank accounts. So don't worry, cops, you're going to get it too.
Man, I love that buttstock pouch on your Mosin Nagant. Where'd you get it?
Strike Hard Gear. They have lots of hard-to-find gear for us comm block shooters, like chest rigs and pouches for your SKS duckbill magazines.
Set your sights on strikehardgear.com. Tough tactical gear for your Soviet-style weapon that's made in the USA. Plus a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. Enter GCN for a 5% discount on all products at strikehardgear.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it led back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes, so there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
Stiction. It's the cholesterol of your diesel engine that clogs the arteries of your injectors, causing hard starts, bucking and chugging, and potential injector failure.
I used Hot Shot one time, drove to Alabama, 700 miles from where I live. I'll tell you what, it fixed the problem.
9 out of 10 failed injectors can be rejuvenated with Hot Shot's Secret Stiction Eliminator. One $52 bottle could save you the cost of an expensive injector replacement. Deep discount, today only. For today only, purchase Hot Shot's Secret Stiction Eliminator online at $26.99. That's 50% off the retail price and includes free shipping. This price is only available online at HotShotSecret.com. Offer expires at noon today Pacific time. Visit HotShotSecret.com and click the microphone to grab your 50% discount and free shipping. This is a one-day promotion and will not be offered tomorrow or next week.
Hot Shot Secrets, powered by science.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Bell Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Strange days have found us.
Oh, yeah, strange days are here. You know, it now turns out the IRS asked for Facebook post, reading list, and private thoughts. of Tea Party groups they were harassing and auditing. You see, they're turning the census into a yearly and then monthly government interrogation with threats of arrest if you don't violate your own Fifth Amendment and waive your rights, as well as your Fourth Amendment. They are turning the IRS into something that runs your health care and spies on you and enforces everything and is a political control arm. They're taking all these federal agencies and they're metastasizing right now as the country is bankrupted by design. Obama campaign co-chair attacked Romney with leaked docs. No kidding. IRS-approved liberal groups with Tea Party in limbo. GOP impeachment not off the table. Prominent Catholic professor claims IRS audited her after speaking out against Obama. Absolutely. This is all part of the intimidation. Demand to know who was paying for her. IRS asked for Facebook post. Demanded list of students that were part of libertarian and conservative groups. This is what a free country does? Well, they're just making sure. IRS wants you to share everything. Politico reports. And again, they're hoping to just bring all this out and normalize it. And so many people I talk to now go, you're absolutely right about this, but I better not visit Infowars.com. I better not speak out. They'll get me. No, if you give in to the fear, they will get everyone. This is what an authoritarian normalization looks like. I mean, it's like sheriffs in Palm Beach County. The sheriff comes out and says, if anyone criticizes the government, call us and we'll drop by to see what they're up to and have a nice little talk with them. What they'll do is force their way in your house without a warrant, grab you for a forced psychological evaluation by one of their hired psychiatrists or psychologists, and take your guns, and there'll be no judge, no jury. You will now be listed as a mental patient in their fake database. And people go, well, the sheriff also said if somebody talks about shooting the mayor. No, what they say is if someone says they don't like the government or that they're angry at the government or they want to shoot the mayor. It's like if somebody says they want the Constitution and to kill their kids. See, they add that into it to demonize the earlier point. It's all semantical con games with these people. And now all over the country, they're putting up microphones and cameras and telescreens and telling you how they're going to prosecute you for this and prosecute for that. And we're watching you and you can't be trusted and you better do what the government says and you better. And oh, there's all sorts of rulings like town hall reporting. Court rules against German homeschooling family seeking asylum who face prison time for homeschooling their children. And Obama is turning the family back who's been here for 3 years from asylum. Oh, if you're running from North Korea or you're running from stuff in Germany, which is an incredible police state now on many fronts, you're not allowed to get away. Oh, you're going to stay there because they want to make America like Germany is. They're trying to ban homeschooling. California a few years ago tried to ban it, but it got defeated in court. And they said in the court argument at the state level, I remember reading the filing, they said the state has jurisdiction over your children and they are the primary guardians. And then now MSNBC in promos says the community, the state is the parents, not you. Your children are not yours. We need to get over this idea that your children are yours. And I'm glad you're upset out there. You know, I tell my entire crew who sits in there and gets upset about all this, and they watch the videos we're getting ready to play, and they get upset, and they say something's got to be done, and they're all in there talking angry. And I looked at them all, and I said, hey, everywhere I walk around in this office, people are in the coffee room, wherever, looking at articles, discussing it. And I'm glad I've got a crew that cares about this information. I'm glad I've got a crew that works so hard. I'm glad I've got a crew that is upset. But I say this, don't just sit around at your office or don't just sit around at, church or wherever and talk with a few friends about how you're upset about what's going on. Go to the city council. Go to the county commissioners. Let them know that you're the boss and they're the servant. Set up your own YouTube channel. Do your own radio podcast. Go do your own YouTube channel. Because I've told particular people in this office that are constantly walking around talking to everybody else, and everybody goes to them to talk about the New World Order, and I'm like, when do all these great ideas get on air? When do all these discussions fight the New World Order? When are you going to put that on air? Put that on air. Because let me tell you something. It's the time for sitting around with people you know are already awake and talking about this is over. It's time to hit the bricks. It's time to get on the street. It's time to get on the air. And even if you reach 100 people a week on YouTube, it'll grow into tens of thousands. Even if you get a local radio show, Access TV, use a venue, get out there. You are the resistance. You are the hope. You are the leaders. You're the soldiers we need.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even if I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're here live. Back weeknight, 7 o'clock Central. By the way, if you're not a PrisonPlanet.tv member, you're not fighting the Prison Planet. Everything I do, everything I try to do is about getting people off their butts in action in the fight for liberty worldwide. It's an intellectual, cultural, ongoing, ancient battle. All of our ancestors, no matter where you come from in the world, were involved either on the side of tyranny or the side of liberty. And I'm asking you to be involved in the side of liberty right now against these control freaks. And a PrisonPlanet.tv membership is $5.95 a month. That pays for the bandwidth and the cameras, the crew, and things, or at least it pays for part of it. And then our mission is to get more people to tune in and wake up. You can have 11 people watch simultaneously any time of day with one PrisonPlanet.tv membership. 12 different people technically can tune in, because I actually had them turn it up to 12. I hadn't announced that yet. I just announced it right then. But what's happening is most people don't use it all the time, so you can have 30 or 40 people using it. And then if you try to go log in and you're locked out, that's good news. It means you shared your username and passcode, the unique code you create for prisonplanet.tv that you can share, and that means people have now gone and used it so much that you're unable to log in. Then the answer is go get another $5.95 membership and share that with others. We call it Operation Awaken the Sleeping Giant. So if you're not a prisonplanet.tv member, the site just gets better and better. It's been up for over 10 years now. And it's got material and info we've put out going back more than 17 years on it. My book, Paul Watson's book, both out of print. All of my films, a bunch of other films. A lot of the stuff up there is in high def. Especially the stuff we've been posting the last few years, the live video streams of the daytime show, the subscription nighttime show, all of it. Become a prisonplanet.tv member today, and also know that you're funding us getting more reporters, more researchers, more journalists, more editors, more graphics people, because I understand this is the fight of our lives. I'm all in. And how could you not be all in when you realize that our once free country and world is being converted to a high-tech police state? It's horrible. And with that, all the prosperity is going out the window. So I want to ask everybody, become a prisonplanet.tv member today. What have you been waiting for? And if you are a prisonplanet.tv member, you can also go to InfoWarsNews.com, take you to the same URL. If you are a member and you haven't shared your username and passcode, again, make sure it's a unique one just to the site. You can change it if it's not. You can do that on the site. And then share it with friends and family in an e-card. Say, here is the username and passcode to your free membership that I'm giving you to prisonplanet.tv. Watch the Obama deception in high def. Watch Endgame, Fall of the Republic. Watch our chemtrail documentaries. Watch Blueprint for Global Enslavement. Watch the nightly news. Prisonplanet.tv. People are very, very hungry. Strategic relocation in high def with expanded extras on prisonplanet.tv with Joel Skousen. It's all there on the site, prisonplanet.tv. Use it. Share it today. I want to thank those of you that have been. Now, here's the toll-free number to join us. It's 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Again, I want to give first-time callers a chance to get involved on air today, 800-259-9231. Now, let me run over the latest on the changing stories, the lies, and the good news that because of grassroots pressure, Boehner, who's been an insider and always whitewashing things, is being forced to talk about people need to be arrested, people need to go to jail. The problem is then those people will squeal like Fast and Furious when they're facing jail time and say, I was ordered to by the Attorney General and by the head of Homeland Security, Mr. Napolitano. Well, of course you were. Of course you were. Of course you were ordered to. And this is their Waterloo. This is their Watergate, to continue the water analogies here. We have to continue to hammer this. Let's go over some of these headlines here. Justice Department defends seizure of phone records. So they're now defending that while saying they didn't know it was going on, that underlings did it. But they're now changing that story. That's the New York Times. Holder isn't sure how often reporters' records are seized. Just amazing, ladies and gentlemen. And again, they're already spying illegally on everything. We've confirmed that just from our whistleblowers, with them finding out who they are almost instantly. I mean, you literally have to meet people in parking lots. Or folks mail us stuff from mailboxes with fake return addresses, and then we call the phone numbers on it and confirm they're real documents. That's really the way, the old-fashioned manila envelope way. Continuing, Eric Holder points finger at deputy who secretly obtained journalist phone records as Obama is forced to say he has confidence in the Attorney General. So we're going to have the Attorney General of Fast and Furious and the Oklahoma City cover-up. That came out in court. He ran that cover-up of what really went on there. These are very nice people, folks. And now they know nothing, but they're defending it. Continuing here, with the news on the media being harassed front. Holder to face Capitol Hill grilling today. We're going to follow that. That's out of the Hill newspaper. A report on that front. Also, there's another headline here that White House on AP probe, Obama firm believer in press freedom. Well, thank goodness Kim Jong-un is a firm believer. I mean, Obama. Everything's fine now. Newsmax reporting, again, what I just mentioned, the Justice Department to investigate not only the harassment of whistleblowers and the going after phone records of sources reporting on criminal activities by this government, a crime syndicate trying to protect itself. Now, justice to investigate IRS targeting of the Tea Party. And again, there's a Hill article out going, Obama needs his own drudge to be able to counter everybody getting on the bandwagon to attack him. It's because the media are a bunch of cowards. Just like the Boston bombing, our reporter goes and says, who are these other guys? You admit you had a drill. You don't want to talk about it. Why was there a stand down? Here are photos of the other people. And the FBI guy was literally completely scared and goes, do not listen to him. Do not talk to him. Do not look at his photos. And none of the press covered it or looked at the photos. Instead, they demonized us and said, how dare they ask, how dare InfoWars ask about a drill? Yeah, I mean, it looks like you got about 50 security people in black backpacks and black shirts and tan pants and boots, staring right where the bomb goes off, disappearing minutes before it goes off, and then running around with radiation detectors and stuff. Let's just not even discuss that. And let's not discuss all these other suspects. And let's not discuss Saudi Arabians on no-fly list and stuff, being visited by the First Lady and visiting the White House, 8 times or whatever. Let's just not discuss that. Because it's a conspiracy theory that they're spying on the media, now confirmed. It's a conspiracy theory they bought 2 billion bullets, now confirmed. Now it's a conspiracy that I don't like that they bought that and that I'm suspicious of it. First, it wasn't happening. Now I'm bad because I was right. Here it is. Justice to investigate IRS targeting of Tea Party. Isn't that just special? So they'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry your little boots about that. The very people doing this will investigate it. They call that fox guarding the hen house in my day, but nowadays that's a conspiracy theory. If you can, 2 + 2 = 4 is a conspiracy theory. Knowing how to tie your shoelaces is a conspiracy theory. Whether it's the U.S. or England, we have videos out today when you say, you don't have a right to stop me randomly and ask me questions. I'm walking down the sidewalk by a park. Is this part of an ongoing investigation? No, it's not. Then no, you don't have a right. And they go, oh, why are you a conspiracy theorist? That's what TSA does now when they want to take you over and grope you. And you're like, the government got the underwear bomber on the plane. This doesn't protect us from terrorism. This violates my Fourth Amendment. They're on record, on video after video we've posted with other citizens and journalists going, that's enough of your conspiracy theories. And I've talked about this. Having free will, having an opinion, having a view is a conspiracy theory. Sitting down, shutting up, taking all your vaccines, getting Parkinson's disease early, getting cancer early, eating your GMO, dying like the rats, on record, that's a good citizen. And I see these videos of these cops all over the country, but also in Europe, when they come over and get in journalists' faces for no reason, they have this crazed enjoyment, and they're always like caressing their uniform and caressing, just enjoying it. I'm in an outfit, I'm in a suit, I'm in a costume, and I was watching video of these British cops, and it's an attractive female cop, and you can tell when a woman's jacked up, really excited, and she's just getting off on the power over this guy. And just rubbing on the seatbelt and rubbing on her uniform and I mean, and just like she's all excited. It's all about how she's got power. I mean, these are not people that need power, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, who wants to act like this? Idiots, that's who. People that would never have had real power in the world. Real power because they had power. In ancient times, if you could fight, you could hunt, you could plant crops better, you could tell the weather better, you could strategize how to defend the tribe better, you went to the top, it made humans stronger. Now, if you get in line and enjoy getting your power out of a corrupt system, not out of who you are, you go to the top. And that's why society's turned into North Korea. And pretty soon you can't even plant crops. You can't make automobiles. Your cities don't have electricity anymore. But the upper class are all on uniforms with that same look in their eye of enjoyment. And that same, I've been to Mexico. I've seen videos and footage out of North Korea. You've all seen it. And I see the same look in our cops now, more and more, of just the satisfaction. It's the same satisfaction when my daughters were 3 or 4 and would dress up like princesses and run around enjoying themselves with plastic rings on, you know, costume jewelry, having fun when their friends would come over. And it's cute when a 3-year-old girl is on a power trip imagining they're a queen. It is not good when you're a 35-year-old cop acting like that. It is good when you're a 3-year-old boy playing cops and robbers out in the yard to imagine you're a superhero. Because you've got to imagine you're going to be a powerful male and a warrior before you actually become one. But being a warrior who battles the journalist isn't a warrior. It's called being a North Korean thug. And look, I salute the police that do a good job out there in some of the crime-ridden areas. But more and more, once crime takes over, the police just become criminal because there's corrupt cops above them on the take, and then you collapse like Detroit or Chicago. I mean, these are now third world areas. A lot of great people in them. I'm not bashing your cities, but they're all now fleeing here and then now trying to put me under their way of life. And I'm sorry, my ancestors went to war with people that tried to make them slaves. And come hell or high water, didn't back down. And that's just where I come from. That's who I am. I have an instinct to not be a slave. I have an instinct to want to be free. I have an instinct to disdain thugs. Gangs wear their uniforms, motorcycle gangs wear their uniforms, cops wear their uniforms. This is all ancient crud. And I'm done with it. And listen, to all of you think you're on a winning team, caressing your uniforms, getting off on fetishizing it, let me tell you, folks, you're dead already. You've all been injected with cancer viruses. You're all drinking sodium fluoride. You're eating GMO. You're going to watch your kids die young. See, because it's going to kill you 20, 30 years young. It's going to kill your kids. You know, a lot of you cops that are like 50 right now, you know, your 25-year-old son's dying right now. Your daughter, your 20-year-old daughter, your 18-year-old daughter, your 10-year-old son's dying right now, and you're crying right now. You know, the neighbor's dying of cancer, too. You're going, my God, it's true. They're killing us. That's right, buddy. Why don't you come in and join the team and really wake up to the whole system instead of caressing your uniform all day? There's no amount of tickets you're going to write. They're going to keep the country from going bankrupt. There's nothing you can do, okay? The only thing you can do is realize we're all under scientific attack and really get with the program, and let's figure out how to fix this. The media is starting to get with the program and realizing, why are we letting Obama persecute journalists? Why are we letting Obama run al-Qaeda? Why are we letting him spy on everybody? Why are they harassing college groups that promote the Constitution? That's in the manual. Those that promote the Constitution. See, those that promote the Constitution are Americans and the good guys. And those that say the Constitution is bad and is terrorist, they're obviously the bad guys. 800-259-9231. We're going to go to your phone calls here in just a moment. But here it is, Justice Department to investigate IRS targeting of the Tea Party. Well, I feel safe now. I feel safe. Progressive group, IRS gave us conservative groups confidential docs. Again, that's Newsmax, Breitbart. Rasmussen reports 57% want IRS offenders jailed or fired. Oh, but they're not talking, are they? Because they were ordered to do that. I mean, give me a break. The president's the one that orders that. Boehner on IRS. Who's going to jail over this scandal? Washington Times. House Speaker John A. Boehner said today that it will take more than firings to clear up the IRS scandal. It'll take someone ending up serving jail time. Okay, I never praised Boehner. I'm going to praise him right now. That's what we need right there. Jail, long jail terms. Long jail terms. Get rid of the IRS. It's a collection agency for the private Federal Reserve. The big bankers are all exempt from it. All you people that hate wealth and think you're winning team against people that produce by joining the Democratic Party and the Socialists and the collectivists, the mega banks that fund you are tax exempt. They're offshore. They want to get rid of the middle class as a tool of economic domination. Because once you break the middle class forever, you now have an enslaved North Korean or Mexican population, like in Mexico. The IRS wants you to share everything. I already mentioned this Politico article, but here they are going, well, what is the big deal? They want your reading list. I mean, of course the government comes and says, without a warrant, you will tell us your reading list or we're going to take all the money out of your bank account. It's like when I get the business census and the public sends me emails going, I don't get a business census. That's not real. Well, you must not run a business, dum-dum. The community surveys and the business surveys are now yearly. And it asks me stocks, bonds, everything I do. Total violation of 4th and 5th Amendment. And it says penalty of perjury. So if I make a mistake, by the way, then I'm going to go to jail for that. Well, you know what? I'm not answering your questions. FBI shows up here. They put Martha Stewart in jail, they said, for lying to them when she didn't. She didn't insider trade. They just burned her because you know her name. Try to scare people. They sent her to jail for not knowing every bit of stock she had in a questionnaire. Well, I'm not answering any of your questions, you crooks, you narcotics trafficking, child kidnapping. Yeah, that's who fences the little kids, most of them for snuff films, the government.
With health threats on the rise, such as West Nile virus, MRSA, CRE, and now the new bird flu recently discovered in China, there has never been a more crucial time to support your immune system. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary new silver solution that is clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver and is powerful enough to help protect you and your family. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, highly effective, and perfect for everyday use inside the body as well as out. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands for improved health and immune system support. To find out how Supernatural Silver can change your life, go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SPRING2013 for 20% off and like us on Facebook.
Curious about what comes next? Next is the feeling of vulnerability you get after you arrive home to discover your house has been ransacked by burglars. Fool the bad guys with a new improved fake TV. You asked for it, we listened, and we made our new fake TV 3 times brighter than our previous model. The brightness of our new fake TV is equivalent to a 40-inch TV. It simulates the color and motion of a real TV while you're away from home. And when burglars think someone is home watching television, they're likely to pass your house and move on to an easier target. The new, brighter fake TV is only $39.95 and includes free shipping. Go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388 or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
For nearly 20 years, Alex has been the voice of warning on threatening issues that the big media won't dare talk about. Threats that trample the American dream. You know what we all face. A crashing economy that's forcing millions out of work and from their homes. Half of Americans need help just to feed themselves. Legalized pollution of our food is sickening us with cancer and disease. The food you can trust in facing any of these threats comes from eFoods Direct. It tastes great and stores up to 25 years, ready for when you need it most. Be smart and be prepared for whatever life throws your way with your own food supply from eFoods Direct. Call eFoods Direct at 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Get a free evacuation kit with select purchases. This kit is a $200 value and is perfect as a bug-out bag or for emergencies. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find out more.
If it keeps on raining, love is gonna break. Going down now, going down to Chicago. Here it comes again. We're just woodpeckering at the globalist. All right, I want to go to your phone calls this segment next. We'll take calls in the next hour or two. Dr. Corey Gold's joining us to talk about Benghazi Gate, all of it. I want to focus some on Benghazi because we are getting distracted with the IRS stuff and all the rest of it. But look, folks, when I end the last segment saying the government runs child kidnapping rings, type in NATO and child sex trade, UN child sex trade, BBC, Reuters, AP, Chicago Tribune, where defense contractors, U.S. defense contractors, whistleblowers will say, I saw them load 125 children, some as young as 2, onto the aircraft, flying them into Saudi Arabia, out of Bosnia. From there, they were broken up and sent to other areas. And then they have Italian investigations on TV where they're shooting 3-year-olds in the head after they rape them. I mean, it's like, whoa. The government grabs little kids, rapes them, and shoots them in the head with .357 Magnums. And I know that there's all sorts of national media listening. Hey, do an article how I'm a liar. Go ahead, just go ahead. And then we'll show you, and then I'll go show a bunch of news articles showing everything I just said. The government, that's who you signed on. All the tough guy groups, all the gangsters, there's always somebody worse than you. And they are who gets in the seat of power. And then society collapses. And I'm so sick of this culture glorifying criminals, glorifying so-called tough guys. You're all walking dead. You're all nobodies. Real men stand up for innocence. Real men stand up for justice. And it's time for real men to get aggressive out there. Somebody tries to push you around. Somebody tries to peck you into submission. You get in their face. Playing games with the New World Order is over. And all the criminal classes, you're going to push it too far. And you know what's going to happen to all of you. You know what's going to happen. You're all going to be brought to justice. When we restore this republic, there's going to be Nuremberg trials. You're all going to get a jury trial. Then you're going to get hung by your neck until you're dead. And a lot of us aren't going to make it to that point to see it, but you will be brought to justice for what you've done to innocents. We will not be transported to a state of liberty on a bed of feathers. Let's go ahead and talk to Simon in Florida. You're on the air, sir. Thanks for holding. Got about a minute and a half.
Okay, I just wanted to point out Alistair Stevenson. You've had several articles about him on your website, and I think it's important to point out also, if someone pulls up the picture of this family, this Richard family, look at the father.
What specifically are you getting at, sir? We don't screen calls, but I've got to know what you're talking about.
Very similar looking. The father, the Martin Richard kid that died, the 8-year-old in the Boston bombing.
Man, you know, I appreciate your call, but I mean, look, for folks that don't know what this guy's talking about, new listeners, there is this new belief that everybody's an actor. And they do have crisis actors, and they have staged fake events, and they have used PR people to be there at events they stage to hype it. But they killed real people at Sandy Hook, and they killed real people at the Boston bombing. They like killing people, okay? Yes, they provocateur events, but they don't completely stage them. Those are very rare. And again, I mean, there's people that say that I'm all these different actors and people. While I work in here 18 hours a day, I was at work 18 hours yesterday. Actually, more than 18 hours. And, of course, it was enjoyable work. Hanging out with Mike Judge again for about 5 hours. I've got the best Mike Judge interview ever. We're going to be airing next week. It is bombshell.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
With health threats on the rise, such as West Nile virus, MRSA, CRE, and now the new bird flu recently discovered in China, there has never been a more crucial time to support your immune system. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary new silver solution that is clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver, and is powerful enough to help protect you and your family. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, highly effective, and perfect for everyday use inside the body as well as out. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands for improved health and immune system support. To find out how Supernatural Silver can change your life, go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SPRING2013 for 20% off, and like us on Facebook.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, I'm going to take calls throughout the hour. Riding shotgun with us is Dr. Corey Gold. We're going to look at all the big scandals. Got a bunch of breaking news. Will Obama stage something to get himself out of this? I don't even know if that'll work at this point. People say, well, the whole government's corrupt. Why go after Obama? You got to start punishing him somewhere, or they think they can get away with anything. So the arrogant liar-in-chief is politically in deep trouble, and his whole agenda is in deep trouble. And I just want to salute Ted Cruz, and I want to salute Rand Paul, because if it wasn't for them and you, the American people, they'd have passed that anti-gun garbage, and they would have already passed the amnesty stuff. And people are like, well, why was Rand Paul at first? Why was Rand Paul at first, like, pro-amnesty? He wasn't. He was for real, reasonable path to citizenship for legal folks. But then when he saw the bill was a double cross, he was against it. And, it's kind of like he went to a Christian group yesterday or a few days ago and said, I'm not a total libertarian who wants to run around naked smoking pot, because I guess he's trying to fight the Aqua Buddha stuff. It's okay, Rand. Everybody had fun in college. And then libertarians are like, you're demonizing libertarians. No, he was trying to wake up a group of mainline Christians that libertarianism is a good idea. There's the article, Rand Paul, libertarians advocate everyone go out, run around with no clothes on and smoke pot. And Kurt Nimmo wrote a critical article. I don't control my writers. I respect Kurt. We have a difference of opinion on this article. And I'm not saying play politics, but I want Rand Paul to become president. I know Rand Paul. I know he's the real deal. I know he's a real person. That's why they don't like him. That's why they probably won't let him become president. Because they know, basically, folks, they've already had articles going, Jones knows Rand's trying to co-opt the Republicans, not the other way around. That's why we've got to get Rand Paul. Notice our enemies don't like Rand. Okay, I know Rand Paul's real, okay? As real as it gets, and he's very smooth, and he's presidential material. And I think it's good to, criticize him like Nimmo did. That's Nimmo's right. But I just don't agree with it. I mean, because I know, it's a figure of speech. It's like Rand Paul says, hey, you can't just use drones randomly circling around where everybody's a suspect. Now, if somebody was a suspect and just robbed a liquor store, then you could send a drone in on them. People are like, what, now he wants to use drones on us? No, he was trying to explain to people, you just can't have drones hovering around where everybody's a suspect. That's a police state. He's trying to argue with them in a way to convince them, in a way to win. But then you notice, always at the key point, he tries to kill the NDAA. He tries to kill the Patriot Act. He tries to end the illegal wars. He tries to kill the foreign funding of all these nations that's bankrupting us and helping the globalist corporations use us to fund their empire. We don't get the spoils of this empire. He's killing the immigration bill while saying he's for it. And again, I'm not for using deception in politics. He said, yes, if the bill actually, legally, people that are here legally and aren't on welfare and want to be contributing members of society, we need immigration. I'm all for that. and then the bill doesn't do that, it creates 30 million Democratic voters to take our guns, then he's got credibility to blow the bill up. Same thing with Ted Cruz. And I didn't trust Ted Cruz up front, and I was even critical of him a few years ago when he started running, and we did an interview with him. We did a serious interview with Ted Cruz, and I got to say I'm sold now. And that's just the way it is. So, and again, we can all sit there and nitpick all day long. If I see Rand Paul or Ted Cruz get off the Libertarian Constitutional Reservation in their actions, then I will criticize them and say, hey, we like you better than Chucky Schumer trying to take our guns and, you know, Michael Moore, but hey, don't become Boehner. You know, but when Boehner comes out and says, we need criminal charges, we need to have criminal investigations, we need to have a congressional investigation, we can't trust the Justice Department. I'm like, because Boehner is a politician. I don't like him, but if we can take him over, if we can throttle him politically and make him do the right thing, good. I mean, we need to politically bullwhip that little guy into doing what we want. We need to muscle for the Republic. This is a war.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, I will get to David, Kelly, Jeff, Shirley, and others in this hour who are patiently holding. I want to talk about Benghazi Gate. We want to talk about IRS harassment of Liberty Group Gate, where they openly say, in the memos, Inspector General, if you talk about the Constitution and promote freedom or American systems, that's when they went after you. This is an enemy occupying force. You know, if the Nazis would have taken over America, which they came close to doing under the McCormick-Dickstein Committee, actually exposed that in Congress. If you don't know about it, the London Guardians reported on it. It was classified after it happened, a lot of it, because it was so shocking that a lot of top families in America wanted to actually join the Nazis in the mid-30s. Hitler was very popular. He was, on the cover of Time magazine as a good guy, as a progressive. The reason I segue off into that is that if the Nazis would have taken over America, you would think the Nazis were good because the media would tell you so. And the tactics being used by Obama and by corrupt elements of the government are what authoritarians have done over and over again. We know exactly what this is. And if the Nazis would have gotten control in the coup d'etat they planned in 1935, 36, 37, if General Smedley Butler, two-time Congressional Medal of Honor winner, rock star in the newsreels, just amazing guy, best-selling author, if he hadn't blown the whistle and gone along with the coup plan, we would have been under fascist control. And, it's the same thing today. We need to say no to the foreign globalist banks. And if the Nazis would have taken over with their own brand of American fascism, they would have said the Constitution's bad, the Bill of Rights is bad, anybody that promotes this is the enemy. That's what they did through puppet states in Poland and Austria and France and everywhere else. They came in with collaborators. I mean, the Germans only left like 50,000 troops in France after they took it over. The French actually stood down. They bought off 9 out of 10 of their generals. The Blitzkrieg didn't really succeed. They only had to drive the British at Dunkirk with their expeditionary force that happened to already be in France up to the coastline. And then they even called off the Luftwaffe headed up by Hermann Goering. I mean, this is the history of it, and let the British go back. Because they had a peace treaty with England, and that's why Albert Speer then, well, that came out in the Nuremberg trial. Rudolf Hess then tried to fly over and deliver it and the rest of it, and they just locked him up. The truth is the British had actually helped put Hitler in power, promised him he could take over Europe, and then set him up. And again, that's not the British people that did that. I start thinking about Benghazi Gate and what's happening in America, and I go back to Napoleon. I go back to Hitler. I go back to Lenin. I go back to Mao. I go back to Julius Caesar. I go back to Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan. I go back to Mesoamerica and Montezuma. I go back because it repeats over and over again. And I'm sitting here. I've seen this movie 100 times. I know what's going to happen. And that's what's so frustrating is that I understand it. And it's not hard to understand. We've got grade A hardcore cancer in America, politically. And you either cut it out, folks, or it's going to go all the way. And I've said the power structure, large segments of it, are now going, wait a minute, I'm not going to be in power? Because, see, when they started going after billionaires and stuff, the globalists did, who weren't part of the club, they've now turned against the dominant power group of Rockefeller and Warren Buffett at the core of it. And so there's a fight internally in the globalists right now. And the globalists are people like us as well. A lot of them are not pure evil because they're not in the inner circle. They haven't been admitted into it because they're not totally wicked. And if we just politically put out the ideas of liberty, we're going to sell people in the media and in the power structure at all levels to get into what we're selling, which is freedom. Freedom is very sexy, folks. It's very alluring. It's empowering and it's addictive. Not being afraid of the globalist, not being afraid of what they do to me, breaking huge national stories every week, catching them in lies, having victories against them, and I'm just one guy with an army of liberty lovers behind me. And other people are tuning in to what Thomas Jefferson called the animating contest of liberty. And these people now go before the state police nationwide and say, we're getting ready to take the guns of Christians and arrest them. And the state police in Colorado, and I was also told, this came out in the news, but I was also told in Texas, actually are now getting up in these meetings, even though they were hired because they follow orders, and are going, what are you talking, what is this? They're actually having that moment of, what? The IRS is spying on college students that have Facebook accounts, criticizing big government, and they're going after effective people, good-looking people, people with high grades. They're scared of you because they know that humans have power. The team we're playing against is a bunch of scum. And if you would just get up off your hind ends, folks, we'd beat these people very quickly. And they're scared of people that know the power we have. I'm telling you, folks, there's a spirit of liberty, and it comes from the creator of the universe. And it is religious. I'm just going to, you know, I'm not selling some religion. I'm not saying what church to go to. I'm telling you, I've studied history, and good is always driven by a spiritual belief in justice, and the people driven by that spirit do not fear pain of death or torture. And we are the light of the world. We are the real salt of the world. We are the real illuminated ones. The New World Order calls themselves the Illuminati, but their symbol is the owl that can see in the dark. It brings darkness to you so that it can rule. They're not the real illuminated ones. Lucifer is not the real illuminated one. He's not the angel of light. He's trying to be God. God is the real light. God is the real music of the spirit. God is the real universe. God is the creator. God is life. That's what I worship. Not the twisted ones that would play God. Now, I didn't mean to go off into that. I am a preacher. More and more, that's what I'm called. Not the bulldog. That's been one nickname, but the preacher. And we'll hold Corey Gold a little bit in the next hour. I know he has his own show coming up at 2 Central today on some of the same affiliates we're on, KSCO and others. But I wanted to get him on about Benghazi Gate. I wanted to get him on about IRS Gate. I wanted to get him on about spying on the press gate, secret police gate, intimidation gate, whistleblower gate, authoritarianism gate. People are finally waking up and going, this guy's a crook. And other reporters who were scared are now reporting what's happening. And coming up later in the hour, I'm going to play a 1.5-minute clip for radio listeners. The video's up on Infowars.com. It's unedited except for one cuss word we cut out, where the police come and say, we heard there might be a domestic disturbance, we're going to come in your house. They go, no, you don't have a warrant, we're not going to, everything's fine. So they kick down the door, and then the people are standing there peaceably with their hands up, and they taser them as a torture punishment. And you're seeing this more and more, where the police come in your house without warrants, or they lock down Boston and say everybody is a suspect. What about the government being a suspect? We're going to get into that as well. We're going to break it all down. And then later in the hour, we're going to get into big news not being reported, because I always give different numbers, but Dr. Gold has actually broke these now. These are conservative, because some estimates are 1 out of 10 adverse reactions, 1 out of 100 or some estimates, because the hospitals want to cover this up. I want to talk about the real threat to you and your family. Everybody knows people dying of flesh-eating bacteria and other drug-immune bacteria. There's a lot of super viruses now. I mean, everybody. I will not get near a hospital because of the stuff in them. If I do, I go to new clinics that don't have histories of sickness, and I know the medical system in Central Texas, and I actually do research. I will not take my children in someplace, it's an old facility, or that has it, or a place that has chronically sick people in it. But 784,000 deaths from medical mistakes in 2011. No one went to jail. 106,000, this is the latest statistics, are always 2 years old, of those deaths of prescription drugs wrongly used. And these are conservative numbers. You know, I said 500,000 die from flesh-eating bacteria a year, or other bacteria in the U.S. That should, going for a minor procedure. You want to get liposuction, and, you're dead a day later. Deadly bacteria that nothing can kill, living in that place. And then it's just a non-issue. So we're going to be breaking all of that down. But we're going to break here in a moment. Dr. Corey Gold received his doctorate in dental surgery at the University of California, San Francisco in '88. Prior to that, he received a bachelor's degree in biology with a minor in chemistry from California State University, Fullerton, a bachelor's degree in dental sciences from the University of California, San Francisco. He's got a bunch of other degrees I'm not going to go over. He's one of the biggest developers of the best-selling mineral and vitamin supplements on the market. So he's a rock star in his own right on that front. But I got him on about Benghazi and all this. Here's my question for you. Will they survive all of these compounding scandals, and what do you think's at the bottom of it, Dr. Corey Gold?
Yeah, I think they're going to survive. Hi, Alex. It's scary. I'm more scared today than I was on 9/11 because it's just, you see that we're boiling in a pot like a frog, and they're heating the water, and we're just sitting there being cooked alive, and no one's jumping out of the pot. We hear that the government is spying on the media. They're tapping their phones. They're checking who they're talking to. They're recording their messages. We're finding out that the government is going after and targeting groups that they don't like. And it's crazy. The groups they don't like are the ones that are pro-America. We're finding out that the government is rewriting history. You mentioned Nazi Germany. They're rewriting history on what happened in Benghazi. We say we're fighting al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, and yet we're doubling the amount of money we're sending to al-Qaeda in Syria. It's like 1984 here, and it's happening faster and faster. My children, their whole generation believes that anything they say on the phone, anything they type on the phone, anything they put on Facebook, anything that they write down, the government's watching, reading, and categorizing. It's a scary world, and it's getting faster.
Dr. Corey Gold's our guest. We're going to come back and get into all this with him, take your phone calls, and then get into some amazing medical news that is vital for the future of you and your family, my family. We're all in this together, folks. We are in strange days. Indeed, I'm Alex Jones, prisonplanet.tv for the live video feeds.
Stiction. It's the cholesterol of your diesel engine that clogs the arteries of your injectors, causing hard starts, bucking and chugging, and potential injector failure.
I used Hot Shot one time, drove to Alabama, 700 miles from where I live. I'll tell you what, it fixed the problem.
9 out of 10 failed injectors can be rejuvenated with Hot Shot's Secret Stiction Eliminator. One $52 bottle could save you the cost of an expensive injector replacement. Deep discount, today only. For today only, purchase Hot Shot's Secret Stiction Eliminator online at $26.99. That's 50% off the retail price and includes free shipping. This price is only available online at hotshotsecret.com. Offer expires at noon today Pacific time. Visit hotshotsecret.com and click the microphone to grab your 50% discount and free shipping. This is a one-day promotion and will not be offered tomorrow or next week.
Hot Shot Secrets, powered by science.
In the last 2 years alone, the U.S. has seen huge losses to our food supply. In 2011, storms and floods raged across the U.S., costing us $20 billion in lost crops alone. In 2012, we saw the largest drought in the country in more than 50 years. You may think out of sight, out of mind, and so you don't think you will be affected. The fact is you are. We all are. Food shortages drive prices up for everyone. You might not be able to control Mother Nature, but you can control your food prices by freezing the cost and availability of your food supply with eFoods Direct. Be prepared before you need it. With nutrient-dense food you can store for up to 25 years. You can hope for the best, but hope won't feed you. Do what I've done and get your own supply of the best storable foods out there from eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633 or visit them on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex and check out their spring specials. Again, that number is 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
HempUSA.org has a revolutionary wonder food for detoxing the body and rebuilding the immune system. Microplant powder can help unclog arteries and soften heart valves while removing heavy metals, virus, fungus, bacteria, and parasites. Plus, it cleans and purifies the blood, lungs, stomach, and colon. Keep your body clean with Microplant powder. Order today at 888-910-4367 or visit HempUSA.org.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
What's more amazing than a Swiss Army knife? A survival business card. It's 11 functions rolled into one pocket-sized tool, including a sharp knife, a saw, a bottle opener, and a can opener, too. It even has a wrench. It lays flat, fits right in your wallet. A survival multi-tool for your wallet, leather-like sheath included, designed to be practical and built to last. Yours free. That's right, free. Claim yours right now while supplies last at freesurvivaltool.com. Again, that's freesurvivaltool.com. Bills in front of Congress right now could take away your right to keep and bear arms. If Obama has his way, all guns will be either banned, restricted, or confiscated, possibly by executive order. The best way to keep your guns is to hide them. What Obama can't find, Obama can't take away. You can protect your guns from any threat. Download our special report, How to Hide Your Guns, at GoHideYourGuns.com. Learn how to hide your guns while keeping them readily available. Get the report now before they make us take it down. On the web at GoHideYourGuns.com.
Don't worry, this show is documented. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Dr. Corey Gold's our guest. I'll get to your calls in the next segment, and if he can do a little bit in the next hour, because I got him on late, we'll do that, because I'm going to get into this medical news. By the way, I just want to say this before I go any further. For years, I've talked over the phone and in text and things to Mike Judge, the creator of so many big hit TV shows, and he was a top engineer when he was like 20, helping design F-18s. Very smart guy. His dad was a famous archaeologist, Jim Judge. I've gotten a chance, because he's invited me out, to hang out with him the last 2 days, like 10 hours. And we're going to air an interview next week. Mike Judge has never been political, but things are obviously getting pretty bad in the country. So Mike Judge, a political interview, part of it's political. It's definitely going to be newsmaking next week. Shot it at his house last night, and then went out with him to hear some more live music, because we have the same taste in music. And I got to say, I know a lot of celebrities, and they're all really interesting people, because they're the kind of folks that end up reaching out to us one way or the other who are into this info. Mike Judge, well, I mean, look what he's created. This guy is just so smart. I mean, he's like a rocket scientist, and he is just so cool. And I know a lot of mutual friends that have known him for years say how cool he is, and it's definitely true. Man, amazing. So that's coming up next week. I just want to say that there. I'm leaving it at that. And you're going to hear some liners. He did some liners as Hank Hill. The only show I listen to is the Alex Jones Show. I'm sorry. Corey Gold, this is a short segment, long segment coming up. I want to give people some positive news. But the reason I raise that is everybody that doesn't like this tyranny needs to start speaking up. Do you agree with that? And why do you think Obama will get away with this?
Well, the press tends to love him. If this would have been George Bush, you know, that's the one thing I liked about the relationship between George Bush and the press, is they didn't like each other. And the press took pride in making him look silly. But, you know, John Carney goes to the microphone and says the craziest things as the president's spokesperson, and the press rarely calls him on it. I was checking during the break CNN. Benghazi's not mentioned on their main page. The IRS scandal's not mentioned on their main page. That's CNN. So they tend to paper over his shortcomings. They tend to paper over his scandals. They haven't woken up yet to who he is.
I don't think, I mean, I agree with you. They're going to try to get away with it, but I actually see a lot of the press was just intimidated. They're now using this as an excuse to do the right thing and expose what Obama's gone along with. But then to say the Justice Department is going to investigate things they admittedly did, here's the deal. If they get away with this, the sky's the limit then. We're really in trouble.
That's what I'm afraid of, and we need to be real. We need to be very vocal right now. We need to be very vocal as people. We can't be afraid. They're trying to make us afraid to give our thoughts on Facebook to each other. They're trying to make us afraid to say our thoughts to each other over the phone. They're trying to make us afraid to write what we think in emails. They're trying to make us afraid to write our Congress people because we'll be intimidated.
Yeah, that's what my reporter, David Knight, we've had arguments about it. And it's just so bold if they're doing that, because it's alien to me. It doesn't intimidate me. It makes me mad. He thinks, and most of my listeners seem to think, they're just using this as an excuse to go, yeah, we're spying on you. Yeah, we want to know what you're reading. We're going to ask you what your reading list is. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, we're watching you. Like, this is their coming out.
It's like Stalinist Russia that we fought against in the Cold War. That's how you used to spy on their neighbor over there, and they get paid to spy on their neighbor. This is what it's kind of like right now. We got drones in the sky following us 24/7. We have communications being monitored 24/7. They're trying to make you afraid to have a thought other than the ones in parallel concert with the government.
I saw a Reaper a few months ago at stalling speed. It was maybe, I mean, it looked like it was going 100 miles an hour. I'm surprised it didn't fall out of the sky. And, of course, I almost ran off the road trying to take photos of it. I was on a Mixmaster when it flew over. And it was a drone flying slow right over Austin, unmarked. Bigger than Dallas.
oh, they can stay up in the air 48 hours at a time. I mean, we know we're being watched. It's not even if. We are being watched right now. But I got to think that the press has got to be pretty worried. And we as Americans have to be worried when the press who's investigating stories, they're being watched by the government. The government is now trying to figure out who is the press talking to? Maybe people are telling the press things that we don't want them to know.
Yeah.
What they know.
Yeah, what does the government have to hide? They're always wanting our stuff without warrants, saying, what do you have to hide? Well, I don't trust you criminals with my info. That's why you leave the lights on when you go out at night. You don't want to get robbed. I mean, people say, why do you want privacy? Because the crooks will use the info.
I saw one of the major news networks saying they thought it was okay.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, because of course, if you have nothing to hide, then what do you care if they're reading your materials? What do you care if they're keeping databases? We need to be tracking people because there are some bad people out there. By that token, no one should ever drive because every once in a while somebody gets in an accident. By that token, people shouldn't be doing anything because anything's dangerous.
It was CNN yesterday. We put it on screen. The guys put it up there. Carney was up there, and he said, hey, we need to give up liberty for safety. And he said, we need to spy on you so you're safe. And the spying was to keep AP from exposing their criminal activities. I mean, these people all need to be arrested. That is not an extremist statement.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes, so there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com.
Now that we have moved into the winter season, there is an increased need to support our immunity and health. At Silver Lungs, we are committed to meeting your needs by providing a full selection of silver-based products. Our most popular silver-based products are the 32-ounce Nano Silver Solutions, our 2-ounce Nano Silver Nasal Applicators, as well as our all-natural silver soaps. Just released is our 100% natural silver gel. Our new silver gel is not based on synthetic gelling agents, which quickly evaporate and leave the silver at the surface. But rather, we have formulated our silver gel using the natural skin-nourishing chemistry of aloe vera to quickly penetrate and nourish the skin, while delivering the silver more effectively. Visit www.silverlungs.com and click on our store page to find what silver-based products are best for you. That's www.silverlungs.com.
He aligns himself with the truth, and it's time for you to choose a side. You're listening to Alex Jones.
My love isn't league with the freeway. Its fashion will ride as the cities fly by.
I'm in league with the freeway. My love is in league with the freeway. I think that says it all. I listened to that song. I remember moving down here in high school, and then in college I'd go back and visit old girlfriends in Dallas, driving the 4 hours up in the car. Something fun about going to visit somebody you love, you care about over a distance. Makes it a lot better once you get there. There is so much going on. I'm going to go to your phone calls here. He's going to ride shotgun with us 30 minutes the next hour, Dr. Corey Gold. That way we can get into all this medical news he's got. But there's a lot of news breaking at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, and also DrudgeReport.com's got some new news I'm going to get to here in a moment. But Dr. Gold, what do you think about Benghazi? Because some cynics are saying the media already knew about all this, which is admitted, that's come out. The IRS stuff, the spying on the media, the persecution of whistleblowers, that's been in the news for years. Just like Fast and Furious was in the news for years before mainstream media picked up on it. And that they're only covering it now because Benghazi is red-handed murder, the ordered stand-down for 6 to 8 hours, depending on how you cut it, with Predator drones overhead, with high-def infrared, and it's now come out they ordered the stand-down. And so this is a desperate scandal to divert a scandal, kind of like Red Adair, who developed, 70 years ago or whatever, blowing up an oil well fire with dynamite, using a bigger explosion to extinguish another fire. But I don't just see that chain reaction getting them out of it. I'm worried they may stage something bigger. So get into the Machiavellian areas, because I hear your show sometimes. I go and listen to some of the podcasts that are out there. And I tune into KSCO, one of our affiliates. I'm on 2 stations you're on out in California. So I really actually enjoy the areas you bring up, tickling my little synapses to see different angles, because we know they're lying. We know they've been caught lying, but there's stories behind the story. So what do you think's really going on with Benghazi? And again, is this other stuff a distraction from that?
Well, when you think about Benghazi, one of the things I keep hearing even from Barack Obama is, well, that's old news. Like 7 months ago was old news now. Well, forget it. It was 7 months ago. So we were a bad government 7 months ago. The reality is, when you think about it, is we put Americans in harm's way. Americans were killed. It was on 9/11, and to think that there was not enhanced protection, when they knew that it was definitely terrorists attacking the consulate, they didn't send help. Then afterwards, they pretended like they didn't think it was a planned attack. And now we're supposed to feel like we're bad guys for saying, hey, how did all that happen? And why did you tell us a different story after the fact? And if you tell us a different story about the attack on Benghazi, then really a thinking person has to ask, what else are you telling us a different story about? If that's not true, if that whole thing was a lie from start to finish, then what else are we hearing every single day that's not true? And I think that's the bigger question, is when are people going to wake up and ask, wait a second, if you could go to the microphone over and over again, if you could send your key executives to the microphone over and over again and tell us something that was completely false, what else are you telling us that's false about everything else that we're reading and hearing?
Yeah, so there is a loss of confidence. So the establishment may flush Obama because he becomes a liability for them, but they're their own little criminal crew with their own blackmail and insider dirt and a power structure that doesn't want to leave power. So I don't expect them to go quietly. But now Boehner is talking about criminal charges and how that's needed. So I thought this would be whitewashed a lot quicker. But I actually see it blowing up. I think Obama could end up getting impeached.
Well, that's a high bar, because you have to prove that he was. It's like Nixon. You have to prove that he was the one who covered it up. And a lot of people usually take a fall on the sword for the president of the United States. He could say all these bad people around me did things, but I was unaware. I was acting on what I thought was the right intelligence. And that's what George Bush said about why we went to war in Iraq. So people will fall on the sword for him. But obviously, people have to start saying, if this is untrue, and they're still telling us to forget about it, what else are we hearing from the government? Think about this. The stock market's at an all-time high today. All-time high today. Yet 1 out of 7 Americans can't afford to buy food. 1 out of 7 Americans is on food stamps. Yet the stock market's at an all-time high. Tell me how the economy is so great that the stock market's at an all-time high, yet 1 in 7 Americans can't afford to buy food. There's a very disconnect between what's really happening in America and what's happening for the elite and the rich and in the media.
Well, I agree with you. And so where do you see all this going?
You know, it all depends on us. It all depends on us. You know, Dancing with the Stars is on right now, and I hear it's a good season. And, you know, I hear they're bringing back all those Fox comedy shows. And I am afraid, I got to tell you this, I am afraid that there could be something big coming up to divert our attention from what we're at right now. Right now, we're chasing this administration. We don't believe them in the IRS situation. We don't believe them in Benghazi. We don't believe them on a lot of fronts. And when you start worrying about your belief in the government, wag the dog often happens, where something big all of a sudden changes your focus of attention. And I'm afraid that might be the case.
What about a false flag? You mentioned how the government publicly, I mean, it's even in mainline news like London Telegraph, doubling funding for real al-Qaeda. They actually wear al-Qaeda uniforms, al-Qaeda flag, say, okay, Libya now, next Syria, then America. They've gotten heat-seeking missiles from Benghazi. And then it turns out the group that came and attacked the ambassador there at the substation was actually the group hired to run security in Benghazi by the State Department. And then they ordered the military to stand down. I mean, they wanted him dead. This is a hit from all the info I've got. That's why they're covering it up.
Well, we have Libya, which we helped, quote unquote, liberate for the rebels, who I still don't know who they are. I don't think they love America very much, but we got rid of Muammar Gaddafi, and now the rebels are in charge. And miraculously, all the weapons out of Libya wind up in a conflict in Syria, and we're giving money to the Syrian rebels, who are largely al-Qaeda. There's a video online right now of al-Qaeda rebels literally killing Syrian soldiers and eating their hearts. I'm not making this up. These are the people we're supporting.
Yeah, I'm no fan of Assad, but, I mean, real al-Qaeda is the main brigade, and you've got their commanders eating hearts on TV, saying, we've got the videos, we're going to blow up America and Israel next. And then I guess when Israel and the U.S. get attacked, the governments will just use that to take our rights. See how perfect that is?
You know something? In a convoluted world, it makes sense. But in a world of purpose and values, it makes no sense at all. You're right. I am no fan of Assad at all. But are the people we're supporting, are they any better? What are we doing?
They're like 20 times worse. I mean,
right.
Well, I mean, look, Al-Qaeda has already got these missiles. Now they're going to blow stuff up, and you know it's going to be our rights. Dr. Gold, it's going to be my family that loses rights. It's going to be you. I mean, look at how they are now flipping the script from Al-Qaeda's what Homeland Security is for to libertarians, returning vets, Christians, Catholics, Jewish groups were listed by Fox News in the article. And they're saying Christians can't pray in the military now. But, I mean, what is going on here?
You know, you feel the pace quickening, and it scares me because I see so much is happening so fast. And it's not just one area. It seems to be all over the globe, all over the board. And I don't know if they're testing us right now to see just how much we'll take and how much we'll push back. And I think the average American has to push back right now. And that means, you know, telling your neighbor, telling your friends, you know, just don't buy what you see on television. Question what you hear. You know, make sure that your elected officials understand that you want to see heads roll when it comes to the IRS scandals. You want to know what happened in Benghazi. You want to know what the government's doing and why they're so invasive into your personal space. Because until the public pushes back, it's just going to keep rolling.
Absolutely. We got a bunch of callers I want to go to on a host of issues. I want to go to Shredder first, and then we'll go to David and others here. We'll have more of these Obamagate meltdown news coming up the next hour, a bunch of key medical news that's been breaking as well. But I want to get to all your calls, and then we'll get into some of the latest info. Rangel is saying to Obama in Politico, saying, hey, you need to come clean because the cover-up's going to get to you. And the fact that you've got a lot of other Democrats saying Obama's in trouble. Corey, I understand you're cautiously, saying you think he may get away with it. I don't think he will. You know, Boehner's saying people need to go to jail over this. Their underlings were ordered to do this, just like Fast and Furious. And I think Fast and Furious should be reopened. We either get on the offense or we get destroyed. And I think this is very, very exciting what's happening. I hear you, but Holder saying not me, points finger at deputy. For AP phone taps, Holder faces Capitol Hill grilling. That's some of the news up on drudgereport.com. .com right now. Now, punching this up for TV viewers, radio listeners need to go see these photos. What are these weird street signs being installed in Las Vegas? They look like the IntelliStreet system last May 14th, a year ago, yesterday, that the government is spending billions of dollars to purchase and put in that actually watch and listen to you. That's their own promo video that says that. And they have these TV screens that bark orders at you. This is a computer screen with a badge as the face. It's like a devil. And we've got Shredder in Ohio says he can tell us what some of this is. It's got like an intelligence pod, like the Google system up at the top of it. We know it's some type of police spy grid, but we need to find out exactly. It says, I believe these are notification signs that are illuminated during roadside checkpoints for identification. You'll be glad to have this type of policing when they pull scumbag cops off the streets. It's all pre-planned. Don't you see? They know your reaction in advance. No, I agree. They try to make cops act bad to then make them us against them mentality. I got to be honest, folks. I've talked to cops. They're more awake than the general public. As bad as police are, they're actually more awake than the general public because they live in the real world and know what they're being told to do. Still out of control. Let's go to Shredder in Ohio. Shredder, do you have any info on what these systems are being put in Las Vegas?
Yes. Greetings from the world of technology, Alex. I work for the world's largest telecom company, AT&T. We host a variety of services that we deploy in the field. What you're probably talking about, though, is something with like an IP address allocated to it. I haven't seen that sign yet.
No. That's how they sell them. It's a wireless command hub for government and others, but they admit it doubles as a spy grid, like the Google cars, sucking everything up.
Yeah, so it more than likely work off a local network connection or something like that, which is mainly what we handle. We do a lot of residential services for high-speed internet and things like that, but the new product that we are launching in several test markets across the country right now is a system called Digital Life, and basically this is a home automation system with IP addresses.
I'm aware of it. Yeah, it's for the smart meters to jack in and spy on everything, right?
Right, and this will be available to you in your test market or whatever market they decide to launch it in, but, this is a real thing, and people, speculate. I tell people all the time that it's possible, and they just shake their head. Well, now you can go buy it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Dr. Gold was talking about. Everything's just being rolled out. And, yeah, no, I read about Digital Life. Google's coming out with their own where all the appliances, we did an issue in the magazine a few months ago about this, where all of the appliances, whether you like it or not by law, have spy tech, which even physically listens and watches you. The CIA director bragged that, yeah, your washing machine's watching you. And, it's personalized for you, and it just bathes you in wireless pollution while the Imperial probe droid out on the power pole or on the side of your house grabs it all. I mean, so even if you don't want to work it yourself, you turn off your smart meter. People are doing this. Their whole house turns off. That's because it's jacked into everything. I appreciate your call, sir. Dr. Gold, your take on this Orwellian activity.
It's becoming, you're right, Orwellian's the perfect way to put it. And we're accepting it. We're accepting it that the government puts out the version of reality. If the press either goes along with it or the press is spied upon to make sure that it is prevented from saying something contrary to the government. The government's now listening to your home. They're reading what you write. They're listening to what you say. And you're either a friend or you're an enemy. You're either one of us or you're one of them. And it's a pretty spooky place when that happens.
And it's sold as effortless control where, your smartphone will run everything at your house, but that allows them everywhere into your home. And they are bad guys. You're like, well, what do I have to hide? It's not that. They're bad guys. They will use it against you.
Well, what you consider a bad guy and what they consider a bad guy might be two different things. People who like the Constitution, people who talk about limited government, people talk about lower taxes even, are not considered good guys by a lot of people in the government. Those are the enemies by a lot of people in the government. People who question, do we really need this much intrusion on our personal lives by the government? Do we need a government this large? Are considered the enemy by a lot of people in government.
And we said government would do everything it's now doing once it got big, because it always does. And now we know what comes next. I mean, look, folks, it's getting so bad at this rate that I will have to get my family out of the U.S. in the next year or two. I've said I'll stay here and go down with a ship, but I don't know where to send them, Dr. Gold. I mean, I know you probably have these discussions with your family as well. I mean, we don't want to wait till it's too late and they come arrest us all, or then we've got to have a war with them. And the idiots they're going to send are just basically robots. I don't want to have a war with these people. But you know what? I'm not going to your damn FEMA camp. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think right now is kind of the time where we have to make ourselves be clear. There's a lot more of us than there are of the others. So we just need to make sure that the people who work for us, who are elected officials, understand we're pissed off, we're angry, we're understanding of what's going on. We don't want it, and we're going to push back against it. And guess what? They want to be reelected. And if you tell them, I'm going to throw your butt out if you don't go the direction we need to be going, they'll go along with you.
Sure. Let's go to David in Maryland. David, you're on the air. Go ahead. Thanks for holding.
Hey there, Alex. I wanted to go on the issue on Benghazi. I mean, a man was murdered. There was 4 of them. And I don't like, if you watch the media, how they're spinning what's going on with the AP, and they're saying it's a matter of national security as to why they raided the records. But yet, when you watch the news, Benghazi goes away. It's like deflected everything away from that.
No, I agree. And here's Carney, a Human Events headline, Obama spokesman, Benghazi happened a long time ago, and Hillary says, what difference does it make why they died? Well, next time you kill somebody and the cops show up, they go, who killed this person? What difference does it make? I mean, look at how they just tell us. What difference does it make?
Anymore. And I have a bad feeling that nothing is going to come out of this, that it's just all going to go away. And I think it's over. I really do.
Well, they're having congressional hearings about taking everybody's pension funds.
I know. I like how they tied everything into 401k. If you're in a small business, that's where you have to put your money.
And I just hope all the idiots in government realize you're still going to have your 10 badge and your bureaucratic position, but you're going to be a third world serf too, you morons. I mean, all of this is about robbing us, so we're politically bankrupt, so we can't stand up against them. They want to break America's back forever. Thank you, David. We'll come back with Dr. Corey Gold. I'm Alex Jones.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
Introducing a 30-day emergency food supply for only $99. At 30dayfoodsupply.com, you can purchase Oregon Trail Foods' 1-month supply of high-quality, nutritious, and healthy emergency meals for less than $100. These vegetarian meals are all natural, non-GMO, high in carbs and protein, and are packed with oxygen absorbers in Mylar pouches. They take up to 70% less space than number 10 cans, have a 20-year shelf life, and huge portions, over twice the serving size of some competitors' meals. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying direct from producers in Oregon and then pass the savings on to you. Purchase a 30-day 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99 this month, and $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Call 541-673-6666 or visit 30dayfoodsupply.com, where they make preparedness affordable. 30dayfoodsupply.com. Got it? Get it. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone.
I haven't aired the audio and the video yet of the police out in California showing up saying, we got a report of some loud voices, we need to come in. Well, no, you don't. There's nothing. Everything's fine here. Kids are playing in the yard. The wife's there, and everything's fine. And so they kick down the door, and then they're both there with their hands up, and they taser them. And it's all part of just teaching you to do what you're told. But then government's just out of control. And by the way, if the street cops don't know it, in almost every department, your bosses run the narcotics and run the gangs. And you all know that. You're told who to go after, who not to go after. I mean, just grow up and stop acting like the government isn't pure evil. Okay? Because there's no future if you don't do that. By the way, we're going to go to Kelly, and we're going to go to Jeff and James and Tony and PJ and everybody else that's holding as well. But going back to Dr. Corey Gold, who's riding shotgun with his talk show host in his own right on several stations we're on out in California, like KSCO.com//Corey Gold. We're going to get into some medical news. A few weeks ago, I tried to get him on, but he had some family stuff going on. So I've just been able to get him on in the middle of all this news while we shifted gears. But I want to get into the medical issues of what they're not telling you. You know, they want to get rid of all your rights because of terrorists. And then you've got a better chance of dying from honeybee stings. You know, I've shown those statistics. Finally, the mainstream media has actually gone with that very headline. Bees kill more people. In fact, type that in, folks. Bees kill more people a year than terrorists. And then our government's funding terrorists. And I try to get the right numbers. Some numbers are 290-something thousand a year, you know, on the CDC's own website, die from infections in hospitals that weren't related to what they were admitted for. But then you find out maybe 1 out of 10 are getting reported on the chart that way. So is it millions? And then Corey Gold's got the number of 784,000 deaths from medical mistakes in 2011. That's on the CDC website. That's all of them combined, making up the number 3 cause of death. But reporter John Rappaport's broken that down. He says it's over 1 million, making it the number 1 cause of death with no one going to jail. Dr. Gold, tell us about that, but also put in a plug for InfoWarsHealth.com. You advise us on what products to have there. People can sign up for free shipping at InfoWarsHealth.com and get free shipping when they sign up for auto ship. They can sign up and become distributors for $10 and get discounts. And purchasing the great longevity products there also funds our operation. But you're heavily involved with InfoWarsTeam.com. You helped get me involved in it 2.5 years ago with MZ, and I want to thank you and Dr. Wallach. But quick plug for the longevity products at InfoWarsHealth.com.
Well, the best thing as parents, one of the best things we can do is keep our children healthy. I mean, and as family members, one of the best thing we can do is protect our family. We know that the food out there is made from GMOs. We know that the crops are devoid of mineral content. We know we're not getting the things we need from our food supply anymore. We're being polluted in the air. We're being polluted in the water. We're just being attacked on all grounds, electrical radiation coming at us. So we better do something about it. And I know most people who are right-thinking don't want to be plugged into the institutionalized medical system. So what I'm advocating you do is get out there and try to stay as healthy as you can by eating as well as you can, drinking purified water, and, of course, taking vitamins, minerals, amino acids, omega oils that will help fortify you and give your body the nutrition it needs to be as strong as it can. And that's one of the reasons why we put together the Alex Pack, which is on InfoWars Health and InfoWarsTeam.com. And it has those 90 essential nutrients that will help your body do the best it can possibly do and help you stay as healthy as you can. And you need to be taking it, and your children need to be taking it, and we need to do everything we can not to be dependent on the government for our safety, health.
Absolutely, and the Pollen Burst Plus with my ugly face on the cover, the best energy drink out there, the healthiest, It's got the B-Pol and all of it. It's available at InfoWarsHealth.com. Buy it, support the broadcast, and get an amazing nutrient.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
For nearly 20 years, Alex has been the voice of warning on threatening issues that the big media won't dare talk about. Threats that trample the American dream. You know what we all face. A crashing economy that's forcing millions out of work and from their homes. Half of Americans need help just to feed themselves. Legalized pollution of our food is sickening us with cancer and disease. The food you can trust in facing any of these threats comes from eFoods Direct. It tastes great and stores up to 25 years, ready for when you need it most. Be smart and be prepared for whatever life throws your way with your own food supply from eFoods Direct. Call eFoods Direct at 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Get a free evacuation kit with select purchases. This kit is a $200 value and is perfect as a bug-out bag or for emergencies. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find out more.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
This just broke at Infowars.com. TSA now confiscating pressure cookers. Satirical suggestion of banning cookers after Boston bombs becomes reality. And there's a video. They now have liberals out trying to get petitions signed. And no, it's not Mark Dice. I can't believe this. To actually ban pressure cookers. By the way, David Knight had that idea 3 weeks ago to go out and get a petition signed to ban pressure cookers. And I green-lighted him. I green-lighted him doing that, and I don't think we've done that. I mean, we just got to get the man on the street thing going. Just like slam, bam, let's do it. But listen, I love it. Everybody's going out now and getting people to, I think she did it as satire, wearing an Obama shirt, to ban pressure cookers. And everybody should go out and do these satirical deals, showing how dumbed down the public is. Dr. Corey Gold's our guest. So now the TSA is seriously trying to ban pressure cookers. Being flown on a flight, even if they're empty or in the box or they search them. I have TSA always ask me, what is this? This probably happened 10 times. It's happened to my crew more. And they hold up a Canon camera that we've used the last 3 or 4 years. They're the best camera out there for the price, high def. And I go, well, it says it's a Canon camera. And I say, are you joking? Answer my question. Stay behind that line. I'm like, okay. You want to miss your flight? I'm like, I came early knowing you'd want to be on a power trip. Hey, this guy's on a power trip. They're like, all right, you can leave. As soon as I don't let them have a power trip over me, then the fun ends. Then the fun, like, take that lens off. Whoa, what is, it's like idiocracy. Oh, what is this? Need to be the Secretary of Education. 119,000 views, and it just came out a few days ago. So I'm glad people are doing it. I'm glad they're doing it. So we talked about that in the office probably 15 times, but I'd like to see my team go out and, I think they did, went out and did ban pressure cookers. I don't know. I don't even have time to produce around here. I kind of produce on the air. We're going to break in a minute. We're going to come back and go to Telly and everybody else. But Dr. Gold, what do you make of the nanny state? England's trying to ban knives now. You'll have to have a license to have cutlery. I'm not joking. That's BBC.
Well, you see it all over the place. We've talked about it before. They're trying to tell you that your children don't belong to you and they can throw your lunches away that you make for your kids and give them something else just to show you that you really aren't in control of much of anything nowadays. You don't even control what your kids eat, even if you take the trouble to try to do a good job, because the system is really in control of everything. It's a good thing they didn't have the bomb in a trash can. Could you imagine no one being allowed to have trash cans in America from now on in? So I can do without the pressure cooker, I guess, but I'm glad we have a trash can. A Bed Bath & Beyond, you're going to have the new section over there that you're going to have an ID to go get a pressure cooker, I guess. People are going to do terrible things, but we can't overreact to everything that they do. Yes, get rid of explosives that are on airplanes, but pressure cookers, my goodness.
Amazing. We're going to come back and go to calls, but finishing up, what do you make of the deficit going up to close to $17 trillion? It was, what was it, like $8 trillion or something when Bush left office?
Yeah, and the economy is supposed to be doing so great that the stock market's at an all-time high, yet the Federal Reserve is printing money every single month because we're borrowing 46 cents of every dollar the government spends. 46 cents of every dollar the government spends is manufactured or borrowed from China or a foreign government. It's crazy when you think about it. 1 out of 7 Americans on food stamps, 46 cents that the government spends out of every dollar is borrowed. And yet the economy is doing great. Don't watch. There's nothing here to see. Step aside. Nothing here to see.
Well said. And I've got to pull the number up. I actually think it was like $5 trillion when Bush left office. Let me see. National.
I think it was 7 or 8 trillion when he left. I think we're at 16 now. So Obama's doubled it in 5 years.
Yeah, it's just amazing. More money than from George Bush back to George Washington. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, your phone calls quickly when we come back, then a bunch of key health news. And I'm going to play the video on the audio of now the police come to your house without warrants, break in your door, and then taser you when your hands are up. Next, it'll be execute you just as a sacrament. Roll around in your blood, maybe.
With health threats on the rise, such as West Nile virus, MRSA, CRE, and now the new bird flu recently discovered in China, there has never been a more crucial time to support your immune system. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary new silver solution that is clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver, and is powerful enough to help protect you and your family. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, highly effective, and perfect for everyday use inside the body as well as out. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands for improved health and immune system support. To find out how Supernatural Silver can change your life, go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SPRING2013 for 20% off, and like us on Facebook.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. You've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
What you got is oh so sweet.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give me all your lovin'. And from right here in Austin, Texas, ZZ Top. Give me all your liberty. Don't let up until we've overrun these tyrants and taught them that they're our servants and gotten our country back. By the way, if you look at what's happening in Europe, they're like, oh, now it's going to be a permanent recession and depression and the end of prosperity in Europe and more socialism. It's a tool of control. No matter how big the bailouts are, you'll never pay off the $2 quadrillion globally. That's not even your debt. And I've got those articles. We're going to be getting to them. But right now, riding shotgun, well, this is Dr. Corey Gold. Multiple degrees, and you name it, biology, a dentist, and then some other medical degrees. But his big claim to fame is a talk show host and writer and developer of things like Pollen Burst Plus and so many of the other great longevity products at InfoWarsHealth.com. An icon, he doesn't toot his horn, in the development of some of the top supplements in the country. Let's go to Telly in Texas. You're on the air. Welcome, Telly.
Hi, Alex. Hello?
Yes. Hello, Telly.
Hi, yes, I was just wanting to call. First of all, I've been listening to you for quite a while, and I'm very awake. I'm also very vocal about our government abuse that's going on, and I'm sure I'm on some list.
Good, let's all be on the list, and then those of us that aren't on the list, those are the ones that go to prison because they're the Nazis. I'm sorry.
I've taken a lot of steps. I've taken my kids out of government schools. I've gotten out of the financial system. I'll never have a bank account again. I use satellite TV and internet, and we moved out to New Braunfels. But even here, we have major issues. My city council is completely corrupt, and our police department got a tank, and they're very in your face about it. The police chief rode down Main Street in it during.
Oh yeah, you live in New Braunfels. You live in New Braunfels.
Yes.
Beautiful rivers there to go tubing, but I've been there not even drinking, and the police wade into the water, and then want to search your cooler without a warrant, and then want to dig through your wallet, and then if you fall off or get on the edge of the creek, they then arrest you for trespassing. And everybody I know is not going to New Braunfels now to tube, and the cops wait at the end of the pickup points to arrest people who they think have been drinking. I mean, my God, you can't even go drink beer in America. And I mean, I've been, every time I go to New Braunfels now, I've been pulled over the last 2 times. I will not now go to New Braunfels, and everyone I know will not go. And it's funny you mentioned that. And the police there, and I happen to know the inside scoop of what's going on there, and that's why it's a cult. They are literally, they have their own little North Korea going on there, yes.
Oh, they do. They're very corrupt. In addition to that, we have a siren that just literally went off about 30 minutes ago. It goes off every day. And you can hear it all throughout town. I don't know if they have multiple locations.
Well, maybe they'll tell you to duck and cover. You know, it's all about fear. The government says get under your desk. Now, get under your desk. There's a shooter. Get in a fetal position. Don't fight back. You know what they say now if someone tries to rape you, what the feds say you do?
Yell fire.
Well, that too. No, they said you vomit and poop on them.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. That's ridiculous.
So I guess you've got to like be trained and like, I am a trained self-defense expert. Instead you're like, I am a trained projectile pooper. And I'm sorry. And like, I mean, that's what, isn't that condescending to us to say the government can have guns to protect themselves, but we're supposed to be projectile poopers?
I think it's asinine. I think it's so ridiculous. But I am having a dilemma here. You know, my husband was made deathly ill by the pharmaceutical industry, and we are dealing with dilated cardiomyopathy and congestive heart failure at his young age of 47.
Wow.
My son, who's 12 and not overweight, is pre-diabetic. And our garden won't grow here. And so, you know, I feel like I turn the news on and I feel like a schizophrenic. There used to be where you could focus on a couple of issues, call your legislators, you know, and feel like maybe that you could make a difference. But I just
it's more than them swarming us. That's their method of their madness. They're gone crazy. Elites always go crazy. You know, like Hitler's losing the war, so he attacks Russia, that's never been defeated, and had like 10 times the troops he did. And I mean, you know, Napoleon did the same thing. So they always go crazy. So listen, did you hear the peach crop almost all died in Texas, even though there was plenty of rain? They're spraying chemtrails on us. I've had scientists on, mainline studies, the aluminum level in the soil's going up everywhere. Radiation is raining down. I mean, ma'am, hundreds of thousands are dying. That's conservative. It's more like millions from flesh-eating bacteria. I mean, no, it is. We are living in a Twilight Zone episode. I appreciate your call. Dr. Gold, that's what you said. I mean, and you're a newsman. Everywhere, it is becoming insane. But that's what tyrannies become like. And yeah, diabetes is up 3,000%. They're now saying half the public will have it soon. They're now talking about more than 60% of Hispanics are going to have it. Everybody's getting their legs sawed off. I walk around where there's young people, their legs sawed off. I say, what happened? Oh, I'm diabetic. And they're just murdering us. So much fun.
Look at autism. Autism used to be 1 out of 10,000. Now they're saying it's 1 out of 60, 1 out of 70 children has autism now of some form. So whether it's 1 out of 10,000, 1 out of 20, whatever it used to be, to 1 out of 50 or 60, and there's no explanation. I mean, 1 out of 50 to 60 to 70 kids has autism, and there's no explanation as why this is happening. 1 out of every other elementary school classroom has an autistic child in it today.
But aren't you scared of Al-Qaeda? But what about Al-Qaeda? I mean,
well, you know,
I mean, they've got to keep us safe from Al-Qaeda. They publicly run. I mean, so what if cancer's up 10,000+% in pediatric cancers? So what if women all over the place are having both their breasts removed, and we lead the world in breast cancer? So what if the IQs are dropping and cancer is exploding, and we know it's the sodium fluoride? Why don't you just accept it, Dr. Gold? Why don't you just learn to worship world government?
We have a war on poverty. 1 out of 7 people right now is on food stamps in America, as we're told the economy is recovering and rebounding. You know, we have a war on illiteracy as more and more children are flunking out of high school, and we're told we had to put more money into the high school system because that'll make it better. We've done that about 30, 40 times in a row, and every time it gets worse. So you have to wonder, if the government says to put money into something, maybe the answer is take money away from that thing and it will get better.
Yeah, no, I just want to apologize to the listeners. I think the globalists are doing a great job, and I apologize to them. I love the Harvard study came out 6 months ago and goes, we've looked at 20-plus studies. IQs are dropping because of sodium fluoride, hydrofluorosilicic acid. And we can do it county by county. The counties that don't have it, people have 15, 20% higher IQs, 7-fold lower bone cancer rates, something like 20-something-fold pancreatic cancer rates higher in areas that fluoridate with hydrofluorosilicic. Incredible numbers on bladder cancer higher. And they just admit it, and it's no big deal, though, Dr. Gold. We're bad. We're kooks. Why don't we all just drink more fluoride?
They've villainized the person who brings up the problem. It's the shoot the messenger syndrome. And they make you into be a quack. If you bring up something about smart meters on your home, you're a quack. If you bring up something about fluoride in your water, you're a quack. If you bring up the fact that there's, all kind of chemicals, in the GMOs, I mean, all kind of things that are going on, you're a quack because you're not on board the program. You're either on board the program or you're against that.
Yeah, you just hit the key. It's not only that the BT corn and stuff grows its own pesticide at some cases 1,000 times the natural level of the fungus that's poisonous. They're able to bioaccumulate the Roundup and other chemicals and not kill the plant, and then you're eating it, and then you feed Roundup to rats, it kills them.
And there's a new one they were trying to put out just this year that contains part of Agent Orange in it. And it's been banned throughout Europe. Let me get the name for you here.
Come on, Agent Orange is good. Yeah, no. Now they're coming out with GMO crops that can have up to 10 chemicals in them. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, it's called Enlist. And cotton, soy, and corn, Dow Chemical wants to put it out, and it contains one of the chemicals that makes up Agent Orange.
And let's be clear, it's pharmacological crops. I remember reading about Protigen 10 years ago in Texas, open-air planted corn that grows live HIV in it, so they could then strip it out and try to create a vaccine with it by microwaving the live HIV. And that was in the Associated Press, that the government destroyed the crops and revoked their permit, and people didn't believe me about it. And they're like, you can't have corn grow viruses. They just don't know that we are in Buck Rogers here.
Well, because they want you to believe that what they're doing is kind of like, well, we're making a sweeter orange. We're hybriding these two oranges together, and it's going to have a nicer orange. That's what we're doing. No, you're taking insects, you're taking chemicals, and you're incorporating them into plants. That's not nature just being accelerated. That's called nature being mutated.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's skip this network break. Let's go to Jeff. I just can't help it. Microwaving is like spraying aluminum dioxide on us. Well, we'll just need to skip a break, I think. Let's talk to Jeff in Georgia. Jeff, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Dr. Gold. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Just wanted to talk about Benghazi. And actually, Alex, I wanted to also come back to a quote of yours. I know you have plenty that are to quote Alex Jones with, but my favorite one, and I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this, you may have forgotten it already, but the government is relying on the new mascot of America being Dory from Finding Nemo. That was just the funniest thing you said at a very serious day, and everybody I've repeated that to gets a giggle on it. It's one of those
no. For people that don't know, in Finding Nemo, one of my children's favorite movies, and it has a pretty good message overall, the blue fish doesn't remember anything 2 seconds later, because there are some fish that don't have a long-term memory or even really short-term. I think it's that species. That's why it's actually kind of a true story. And they don't remember anything. And the public, that's what Drudge Report does that the system hates. It'll show what Obama said a week ago versus now and just have their two statements from mainstream news doing what no one else will do, just calling the emperor's new clothes. I mean, the emperor is butt naked, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know the parable of the emperor's new clothes, everybody should look it up. But that is it. The American people have become Dory. And in between the television mesmerizing us, in between all the GMO, the sodium fluoride, all of it, the chemtrails, people are dying. And so people just are like inebriated, like, I just want to go have a good time. I just want to have they don't have that spark of life because we are seen as a scourge by the globalist, and they want to dumb us down and turn up the ambient poisoning until their societal level collapses. We'll all be drugged out, damaged, brain damaged, when the real bioweapons are released, and basically everybody's just going to die. People say, well, the globalists, they love their system, they love their real estate, they love their power. Mid-level globalists do. But the real top group, the ones meeting this week off the coast of the Carolinas in the news with Bill Gates to discuss overpopulation, they dream of releasing a bioweapon that has that mutates after a certain period so that it won't kill them. They go underground. They'll use national security to lock down the nuclear weapons, to lock down all the stuff. They're trying to get international deals with other governments to do this, and then they will emerge when they say they want to kill 80% of us publicly. But that's because their own minions think they're going to be part of it. Higher level, it's 90%. In the real globalist statements, they plan on killing over 99% of everybody. And folks, I know you didn't believe me on other stuff. I've made films about this. They really plan this. I don't know if they're going to get away with it. But people in power are planning this. I mean, I've had the FBI, when I've covered this, go and question people at UT. You can look that up in the news. Dr. Eric Pianka, over the biology department at the time, being given standing ovations with people crying. This was in the Texas Academy of Sciences. He gets awards in Europe, too. He projected red skulls all over the wall and said, soon the airborne Ebola is coming. We will all die for the earth. We need a police state like China to get things in place before this. I'm ready for me and my family to die. It's sad, but it's for the earth. And there was a standing ovation for 3 minutes with people crying. Top scientist in Texas. It's a death cult. Then I had his graduate students who are now doctors and people send me threatening emails, and I went and looked up their PhD papers that were online, and I went and looked up where they work. Folks, they work in bioweapons. And I've covered this on air. I have people, and you go find them now, they're 10 years later in white lab coats directing BioShield programs with stuff like mousepox that'll kill 98% of humans that come in contact with it. I mean, that's you and your family dead, bro. Okay? And yeah, there's Dr. Eric Pianka, one of his papers. And listen, maybe you think there's too many humans. That's why they're teaching you a death wish is good. Angelina Jolie, I'm not going to get healthy. I'm going to cut my breast off. And she used to have ampules of blood and say she loved the devil and wanted to hurt herself. That's all this is I've got everything. I've got Brad Pitt. I'm going to cut my breast off. And Gloria Steinem, I love abortion. I had one. You need to get one too. I mean, they're just Satanist, folks. And let them mutilate. I mean, this sounds crazy, doesn't it? Caligula's crazy. Hitler's crazy. Dr. Gold, what is your take on what I just said? It's super ultra hardcore, but that's what the info I have.
Well, I was shocked by the Angela, what's her name, Brad Pitt's wife. I forget her name.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I don't follow the media that much. I don't follow that stuff. But I was shocked to see that she had a double breast reduction or removal. And the news is like clapping, like it's like the new trend. If you want to be trendy like Angelina, then you should go do this too.
Everyone's dying of cancer. Let's not find out why it's happening, why it's exploded. Let's cut our breast off.
Yeah, so we walk for the cure, but I guess the answer is amputation. It's a crazy notion that this is the best solution we have today is amputation. After the trillions of dollars that have supposedly gone into finding cures or causes for these things, they're now advocating amputation.
Well, it's exploding, and it's what to transfer the whole economy into them. Well, brain cancer's up. Is the answer have your brain removed?
I wouldn't put that to her. I don't know what her answer would be. I'm sure she would think you were crazy for saying it after having double breast amputation because it sounds crazy.
Why is breast cancer mega exploding?
You know, you have to ask, why are lots of things mega exploding? Why is autism? Why is cancer? Why is breast cancer? What is going on that's happening around us? And it's got to be the things that we're putting into our bodies and the things that we're putting into our bodies through things we don't even know, like the air, the water, and our food supply, and vaccinations and medicines that are supposed to be helping us. You know, those are the things. There's the only common factor that's changed in America about what's going on inside our body. And that's why I advocate so strongly that people do things and become proactive. And people call me crazy when I talk about, you know, taking minerals and vitamins and amino acids and omega oils. Like I'm a crazy person. Like get the takeout pizza. That's the way to go. Just drink Diet Coke. That'll solve your problem of obesity. But you don't need omega oils. You don't need to have.
And by the way, you and Dr. Wallach, because I remember hearing it 15 years ago, and even just a year ago, and I've had Dr. Blaylock on, brain surgeon, that the formaldehyde, that's what it is, at 87 degrees, aspartame breaks into formaldehyde, folks, and wood alcohol splits into that. Your body's, 98 plus, 98.9, so obviously it breaks down. But it's addicting, because poisons are addicting.
Right.
And it came out that it absolutely makes you obese. CBS News, major study. Guys, type in diet drinks make you obese. But it's not diet drinks in general. It's the aspartame.
Right. I'm not a fan, as you know. I've said it many times.
You're an extremist.
Yeah. But what's funny is I get emails all the time, and I get, like you do, and people say, how can you be advocating for colloidal minerals? How can you be advocating for people taking essential fatty acids? You know that we can get everything from the diet. You're just trying to profit from us. And you look at health premiums going up double, triple, quadrupling, and yet the guy who sells vitamins for like 10, 15 bucks, he's the guy out to get you. It's crazy.
Well, let me say this. I've got the headline up there. New studies wake-up call for diet soda drinkers, CBS, and it goes on aspartame, but they try to smokescreen it with other drinks as well. It makes you fat and get diabetes. Well, that's well known, but let me just say this. I'm going to say this. I do want to profit off the truth, and I want you to profit. See, I believe in win-win-win, where we all become successful, and I promote things that I believe in, that I know work, to then fund myself legitimately, because I love getting up and feeling good about myself. I love knowing I'm part of humanity and team humanity, knowing that I want to build a world for my kids. It's not just that I'm a goody two-shoes. When I even think about doing something bad as just an option, I'm not even into that, but I look at options, I feel terrible because my basic programming is against it. And then all these other people are sold. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's a liar. Well, you're not, folks. Don't believe that. There are more good people than bad people. That's what I said to Mike Judge. He goes, man, I'm really getting political here. I've never done this. He goes, off record. He goes, well, that was off record. He said some of it on tape because I'm just so sick of hearing everybody be able to do whatever they want, and then we're supposed to shut up that love liberty. And, you know, I forget the exact point I was going to make about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Gold.
Well, that's one reason why you were wanting to check us out, and we created the whole Alex Pack and the Infowars health.com, InfowarsTeam.com, and it's to promote for people for being healthier. And, you know, we're not going to say make health claims here. We're not going to say we're raising the dead. But one thing we can say is that when your body gets the 90 essential nutrient needs, when it gets the 90 for life that it needs, it's going to do better because it needs those nutrients, and it's not getting it in the fast food lines. It's not getting in that can of soda. It's not getting in that box of breakfast cereal.
How do we have that flashpoint to break with this system mentally and then incrementally do it physically? I mean, because I know all this, and I can't break with it, Dr. Gold. I'm not like you and Ben Fuchs, and I try so hard. How do I break with it? I mean, how do I do that?
It's hard because we've been programmed both psychologically and metabolically to like certain foods. When they start giving you those certain meals with the toys, when you're a little kid, you start getting to like those certain foods.
It's Pavlovian.
It's Pavlovian. And you're trying to break your conditioning, and it's very difficult. That's why people sometimes have such a tough time saying, my government does bad things at times, because we've been conditioned as children to say, that's not possible. Yes, Russia can do bad things. Syria can do bad things. North Korea can do bad things, but not us. And it's the same thing when it comes to food. We've been conditioned to do things that aren't good for us, and we flow right into the medical system. We eat their bad foods. We pay a premium for it. We flow right into their medical systems. We buy their drugs. And when we go out there now and say, just take these 90 essential nutrients, just take this 90 for life, just get the vitamins, minerals, amino acids, they fight against us for that because we're trying to break your conditioning into a more positive thing.
Absolutely, and then fund a larger info war off. I mean, how are we supposed to fund ourselves? Yeah, I mean, George Soros ain't giving me money, folks. I want to take on the New World Order, so get the high-quality water filters, ProPure, 10% discounted, purify your water. I mean, the water table's just full of all these chemicals. At InfoWarsStore.com, get the incredible health products, nutrients, minerals, you name it, hundreds of products. InfoWarsHealth.com. InfoWarsHealth.com. Your call's coming up.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes, so there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
You are listening to an Infowars.com frontline report.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We're here, the tip of the spear, waging war on corruption, crashing to the lies and disinformation. Some good music, isn't it? Hard to turn that off. Here's the best part right here. Dun, 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 dun. That's a remake of like a 1970s, I forget the name of it, a Russian science fiction movie. That is a Russian redo of it. I forget the name of it. Resurrection. Right, here's the best part. Crank it up. Good stuff. I like all music, man. Everything from rockabilly to good techno like this, Ministry, Metallica, Megadeth, Johnny Cash. I really like the rockabilly type stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Dr. Corey Gold. I know we've got people holding, James, and who's been holding the longest after that? Tony and PJ and Karen. We'll get to all of you. Appreciate Dr. Corey Gold riding shotgun with us for the whole hour. I want to hit a police state news article because you're out in California. I want to get your take on this. But first, let's plug Youngevity. I've been talking about it some. We have it all discounted at InfoWarsTeam.com if folks want to become distributors. The toll-free number's there for people that want to ask questions at InfoWarsTeam.com. And there's different levels of distributor you can be. But signing up for $10 right there gives you a big discount. You can sign up at InfoWarsTeam.com and also get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. You can find the entire catalog and videos and a bunch of media, just amazing interviews at InfoWarsHealth.com. The Pollen Burst Plus, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Rebound. They also now have the Alex Pack in pills for people that don't want to have to carry around the liquid bottles. The Youngevity Osteo FX, the incredible probiotic root beer belly that kids just love. It's not a pill, it's a packet that you put in water. It's all available at InfoWarsHealth.com. And the toll-free number is also on the site, 888-789-9277, 888-789-9277. If you have any questions or comments or help signing up for AutoShip, 888-789-9277. Just a few minutes on the products at InfoWarsHealth.com because they are the best. I went out and found the best. You've not heard me promote really other, vitamins and minerals and nutrition stuff before. This stuff is the best. And there's a lot of other great stuff as well. But the point is, this is the best, and you support the InfoWar. It is a win-win, 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 win-win. You are funding maniacs. We're not really maniacs, but it comes off like that, who are assaulting the tyrants in the InfoWar viciously, foaming at the mouth with love for liberty. I mean, it's crazed, isn't it? And you know you're part of it, and we appreciate you all out there. So it's Dr. Corey Gold. In your decades of research, how good are the products at InfoWarsHealth.com?
Well, they're amazing. But one of the nicest thing is every single person, if you call that toll-free number, every single person who will answer your call is an InfoWars listener. That's where they all came from. We actually got InfoWars listeners who use the products, who like the products, who want to become involved, who want to support the show. And they're the ones answering your phone calls. So this became something very cool over a period of time. The whole InfoWars team, InfoWarsHealth.com. And, of course, the Alex Pack. We wanted people to have those 90 essential nutrients that they need. People have heard Dr. Joe Wallach on the show, and they know his integrity. 40 years of fighting, of pleading and for you to listen to him.
I've had his lawyers on, the ones that beat the famous guys that have beaten the FDA over and over again. I mean, we wouldn't have a lot of this health freedom if it wasn't for Wallach.
No, and right now he's assaulting them again, trying to get the word out about selenium and its importance for your health. The science is overwhelming on the importance of selenium, and the government's trying to consider whether or not it should be in baby food or not. A little bit should be, not a lot, but a little bit should be. And the science is there to support it. So Dr. Wallach is out there advocating for the public and won't make a penny when he's successful from it. He just wants you to know the truth. He sued the government a number of times for you to be able to know what's true and proven and factual and not even argued about different nutritional supplements out there. Not his own, but just the ingredients itself. And who's arguing against them? The government. Why? who pays the government? There's like 100 lobbyists for the big pharma for every one lobbyist for the nutritional supplement world. You know, we said before over 100,000 people die each year out of wrongly prescribed or bad uses of pharmaceuticals. Nobody died last year at all from health supplements. It's crazy talk. When we talk about what you need, your body needs to have the right things in it. There's 90 essential nutrients, the 90 for life that Dr. Wallach and Ben Fuchs and Peter Glidden keep talking about on the radio show. And the concepts are get those 60 minerals, get those 16 vitamins, get those 12 essential amino acids, get those 3 essential fatty acids, and your body will be able to use them to help you be as successful as you can. Your body's a divinely created place, and when given the nutrition, it can do amazing things. We're not going to make claims to cure you, but look what happened to you, Alex. You went on just the Healthy Start Pack, which is the Alex Pack, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the OsteoFX, the Ultimate EFA Plus, and you dropped like 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah, and I'm still somewhat overweight, but I was really fat. And other people that fully follow it have lost over 100 pounds. Right. Like Aaron Dykes, truly amazing. So, folks, InfoWarsHealth.com. Now, how do you pronounce this California town? This is a shocking video up at InfoWars.com. Shock video. California police break into home, tase victims, and perhaps one of the most shocking police brutality videos of recent years. Police in Cotati, C-O-T-A-T-I, California?
Cotati.
Cotati. Where is that?
I think it's down towards San Diego.
California responded to a call about domestic violence by kicking down the door of a man's home before tasing him and his wife as they scream in agony. And the kids are playing right out front. For radio listeners, I'll kind of narrate this. And they come up, and the guy goes, no, and we didn't call you. There's nothing going on. The wife's like, no, nothing going on here. And the case is now in the newspapers. There was no one hurt, nothing broken. And the guy goes, no, it's not a police state. I bet none of these folks are listeners. We're trying to get in touch with them. And, you know, go away. You don't have a warrant. So they kick the door down. They have their hands up, and they taser them. And a minority of people are defending this, just like Boston. Let's go shut down half the city and come and make everybody put their hands up. And they go, well, people agreed to this. No, they didn't. We've interviewed people. We have the video of a woman comes out, a blonde, certainly not one of the suspects. You know, push her up against the wall, put your hands up, where for their safety, we're all suspects. I mean, this is what you see in North Korea. And then I've got articles here where exclusive. Shootings by Philly police soar as violent crime plummets. Philly.com. Austin American Statesman and KI report, or Austin police shootings a growing trend. Well, yeah, they're going up. And it says, why do they pull people over and then just shoot them when they don't even have a gun or a weapon? Because they're scared to death. It's the perception. Because, I mean, I've gone to see action movies. I'm talking half the people in there are cops. I'll say, are you cops? I'm like, how do you know? Well, you look like a cop. You're acting like a cop. And they're sitting there just believing it and having these fantasies that there's all these North Korean terrorists. And, you know, when statistically it's cars that are killing them and other things. And then they're just scared to death. Instinctive shooting. They shoot us all the time now. And it's like, oh, big deal. You ought to be glad they shot you. So I think for police safety, well, we got a couple million police in this country. I think the other 312 million of us or so, you know, I mean, according to their logic, we should all report to government centers to be executed for police safety. Because police safety comes first. The only way for them to be safe is their families, us, everybody, be killed by the government. And that's what the globalists are actually going for. I'm being absurdist here, but they want to get rid of everybody. That's the global program. They got to dumb us down and poison us first, and they're now deep into that, so that they can be free of us and enjoy all the technology we developed. And so what do you think, Dr. Corey Gold? Should everyone be killed so the government's safe?
I'm afraid somebody just spliced it up when I say yes and go along with you with the spoof here. All I can say is look where the administration came from, the city of Chicago, and ask yourself, is that the model for the city you want to live in? If that's the model for the city you want to live in, look where they're revitalizing the city of Detroit. Look at that as that's their model. That's how they run government. So if that's the way you want your city to look, then we're doing just fine.
Yeah, I think we should bulldoze, a third of every city. That's how you fix Detroit. Now the mayor's quit. It's just all collapsing. Because once you get a city of corruption, see, nothing works anymore. That's the plan. They're going to wreck everything.
Well, they have, because at a certain point, people start fleeing when they see disaster. Hey, the boat is sinking. We've got to get off this right now. So people start leaving, understanding the tsunami's coming at them. And then at some point, only the people that are left are the ones who had nowhere to go. And the crime is everywhere. There's vacant properties. Businesses don't want to start and open. The police have to are more aggressive because a lot of crime is happening. It becomes an us versus them situation. Poverty sets in. And then at some point, you're spiraling to a bottom where there's no tax base, so you can't fix it. So they've done a fine job in Chicago and Detroit, and that's where the administration comes from.
But hey, we didn't build what's happened to Chicago and Detroit. Obama did that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you didn't develop all your great products. I don't make films. I didn't go to the trouble to, go do an interview last night that we're going to put out next week. I didn't do anything. You didn't do anything, Doctor.
Well, that was the one thing that the president said that really got to me when he said to a bunch of business people, you didn't create that. And, you could say, yeah, of course, the school system and my parents and the community and my church, they all influence me. But at the end of the day, you're the one who gets up and goes to work, and you're the one who creates your business, and you're responsible for yourself. The concept of being responsible for you and your family is something that's leaving America. It takes a city to raise a citizen, whatever it was, or it takes Clinton's thing about
a village of communists. Yeah,
exactly. The fact that you're not really responsible for yourself. No, we are responsible. We should be responsible for our health. We should be responsible for our conduct. We should be responsible for our livelihood. We shouldn't have to go to the government for food. We shouldn't have to go to the government for shelter. We shouldn't have to go to the government for education. We shouldn't have to go to the government for money or permission. In a perfect society, we should be taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, it puts them in total power, and government never delivers anything in the final equation but literal hell on earth. And we're here warning people, and things are getting worse, and government's saying, we'll do more. Your kids aren't yours. The state is what did everything. Well, then, you know what? I want the government then to wipe my behind. I think that, because I can't do it, obviously. Can Obama come here and do that for me like he does the Queen of England?
And think about it. When you get your food from the government and you get your loans from the government, your health from the government, how are you critical of the government at that point? When you have to go see a government doctor and go to a government school and drive a government vehicle because we own the car companies, and you need the government to guarantee your loan to buy a house, and you need the government for food stamps, how can one say, I don't like what the government's doing when the government's the one feeding you, clothing you, and educating you?
Yeah, let's go to this clip from California that's going viral. For radio listeners, you'll hear the audio, and I'll describe some of it, narrating for radio listeners. The full video's up on Infowars.com, but don't worry, the TSA is banning pressure cookers, so we're all safe. Let's go ahead and go to this clip.
I'm recording everything that's happening now.
Stop talking because they're talking
Yeah,
about...
so we're going to come inside, just to let you know that. You're going to come inside?
Without a warrant,
You're going to come inside without a warrant? Probable cause, you're going to kick my door down. There is no domestic violence. There is no domestic violence.
Yelling.
Between two people, I'm right here.
A good neighbor saw something and said something.
They're going to arrest you, dude. They're going to do this.
Oh, yeah,
How many children are in the house?
There's one child in the house and one is playing outside. Officer, there's one child.
Hey, pause.
This guy's not coming out.
They always say the children not grabbed by the CPS or being aborted. It's always, where are the children then? We have to come in. It's an extenuating circumstance. And now they're saying that's for everything. But we have the court rulings in the article. What the police did was illegal. But see, they don't care. They taser you, and then they charge you with resisting, even though it's on video, you don't. And then there's juries that sycophantically get off on it, burning people. And so they send you to the biggest prisons in America. And so the country collapses. Let's go back to the video.
Why are you not coming out?
Because we don't live in a police state, sir. Martial law has not been established in this country.
Okay, can you do us a favor? All get down on the ground and put your hands behind your back because we're going to kick the door.
Do us a favor.
He can't record if his hands are behind his back.
You know, this guy was in Iraq.
Documentation of this violation of their civil rights.
No rights, buddy. You're an Iraqi. Here you go. Boom. Kick the door down. Their hands are up.
He's got his hand up.
Their hands are up. How
You
pathetic.
kicked my door down. You kicked my door down.
Now he tasers him.
You kicked my door down.
Yes, we did. Get on the ground.
No, you have no right to be in here. You have no right to be in here. You have no right to be
love
in
it.
here. You have no
Don't
right
worry,
to be
cops.
in here. Do not touch her. You are assaulting her.
They're going to take your bank accounts. Cops, your kids are going to die of cancer. Hope you enjoy the New World Order. And again, this curse these cops have done in their training, they're the good guys. They are being, again, I'm sad for these cops and everybody else because the whole system's going to come down. And those cops are going to bury themselves early. They're going to bury their wives and kids as everybody dies of cancer, as everybody dies from fluoride and chemtrails. And they're not going to care because they'll have their shaved heads and their badges. And so good. Enjoy hell. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Corey Gold. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
The video's scary. It's a scary video. You think that's something you'd see in a horror film. It's abuse of power to the worst degree. And the question is, how many of those happen every day that we don't know about because they're not being videotaped? So that's the problem. We only hear about things, and it's only admitted to when there's a videotape. So yeah, I would tell you, keep your camera around, keep your video rolling. I mean, they're filming you every day. You better protect yourself by filming yourself.
There you go, only in America. And the cops don't even erase the camera. They think it's a good thing that they did. The brainwashing is you do what we say, but the government's out of control. When I tell the cops they're going to take your bank account, folks, the New World Order plans to cut the resources off incrementally, dumb everybody down, poison everybody, and just normalize it where everybody's dying. Where 1 in 25,000 have autism. Now, doctor, the new numbers are out for North America. It's 1 in 52.
Yeah.
I mean, and people say, oh, well, it's overdiagnosed. I take my kids to movies maybe twice a year. And if you go when it's packed, I look at these kids, and I look at kids in restaurants. I mean, you can tell people are sick, man. And kids have all got like weird tics or they're autistic. And you see the statistics, they're killing us. But I guess the answer is just, I guess it's okay.
Even if they're overdiagnosing it now, let's pretend they are. It can't go from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 50 just by overdiagnosis. That's just a naive thing to think. Something is going on, and people need to start asking, what could possibly be going on that would make children be so ill? What would make families have more cancer? Everybody we know has somebody die of cancer. What is happening? And the only common denominator that I see, what we're drinking, what we're eating, what we're putting into our bodies through medicine and through vaccinations and through everything else. And yet we're told not to take proactive action. You don't need to filter your water. You don't need to take vitamins and minerals. You don't need to eat organic food. It's no better than any food. We don't need to change the label so you can know the difference between GMOs and not GMOs.
And meanwhile, the elite is obsessed with only eating high nutrient-dense diets in non-GMO and filtered water.
Oh, they have their seafood. They have their seed banks. So when everything goes to heck in a handbasket, they can have their crops pure as can be.
That's right. On record, the Rockefellers and UN giant armed seed banks guarded with men with machine guns. Everything's fine, though. Drink the fluoride, police. The government's good.
Stiction. It's the cholesterol of your diesel engine that clogs the arteries of your injectors, causing hard starts, bucking and chugging, and potential injector failure.
I used Hot Shot one time, drove to Alabama, 700 miles from where I live. I'll tell you what, it fixed the problem.
9 out of 10 failed injectors can be rejuvenated with Hot Shot's Secret Stiction Eliminator. One $52 bottle could save you the cost of an expensive injector replacement. Deep discount, today only. For today only, purchase Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator online at $26.99. That's 50% off the retail price and includes free shipping. This price is only available online at HotShotSecret.com. Offer expires at noon today Pacific Time. Visit HotShotSecret.com and click the microphone to grab your 50% discount and free shipping. This is a one-day promotion and will not be offered tomorrow or next week.
Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
Big John. Big John.
Every morning.
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John.
Big John. Big Bad John. Sing along brought to you by
Nobody seen
Janet Reno.
John called home. He just drifted into town and stayed all alone. Didn't say much, kind of quiet and shy, but if he spoke at all, he just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got in a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Louisiana fella to the promised land, Big John.
Let's go back to Dr. Corey Gold. I'll do a little bit of overdrive to get to your calls. I'm just always out of control. But the absurdness, the absurdity of all of this just makes my head spin. That's why I couldn't even talk right then, just thinking about how crazy the whole world is getting and how much crazier it's going to get. Dr. Corey Gold's our guest. James in Colorado. You want to talk about Colorado Defense Force? Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, Alex, hello. Thanks for taking my call. Things are crazy. Yeah, I want to make an announcement and call to action for people here in Colorado and for people actually worldwide to do the same. But just on a side note on the topic that you're on, what I was thinking was Brad Pitt needs to have his genitalia removed and go on tour to demand a plan to end pressure cooker violence.
Hey, that's an idea. Brad Pitt could, because men get testicular cancer, he could have them chopped off live on TV and then go around with them in a jar. And it's so trendy, the metrosexuals, because he said, I'm going to make it popular where all men are going to want to wear skirts. That's a famous quote. He wants you to be like that, too. Angelina carries the jar. I'm sorry.
Okay. The purpose of my call, I want to announce the formation of the Colorado Constitution Defense Force. We meet every morning at 05 to run physical training at the southeast corner of Front Range Community College here in Colorado, Westminster, Colorado. Please show up. We also meet for a red pill party every Sunday at 2 p.m.
Ooh, red pill parties. That's how to defeat the New World Order, make it fun. All right, good to hear from you. You know, I don't want to get off into sick jokes. Cancer is very sad, and we're battling it and trying to expose. They're giving it to us in most cases, knowingly. But, you know, when they celebrate abortion, and I had an abortion shirt like Gloria Steinem does, it is all part of a sickness. And I know Jolie's into death and mutilation of herself. She was always into that. And so it's just the way they're celebrating it, and even said it is very sick. But it'd be like Lance Armstrong, you know, saying, I'm having my, you know, I guess in the land of the castrated men, the one-wavoed man is king. I mean, this is where it's all going instead of, you like that, CJ? Okay. Dr. Corey Gold, can you top that one?
No, I don't think I can. I think you hit the ceiling on that particular one. But you're right. There is a cult of craziness going on in America right now, and people, unfortunately, are following the wrong leaders. We're following the wrong people in America. If we're using Brad Pitt as a person that we follow and admire because he's a good actor, then we're crazy and we deserve what we get.
I think as brain cancer's up, we should all have our brains removed.
Well, you know something. One day, that when you see the campaign for that, you know to run fast as you can. The bottom line is, there's crazy people out there telling you crazy things. Don't listen to them. Do things that make sense. And you know, for one thing, getting vitamins and minerals and nutrition, good solid water, good things in your body will always help.
Extremism. Next, you're going to say support the Constitution. We're going to have to audit you and demand your reading list. What's wrong with having the IRS demand your reading list, Dr. Gold? That's what they do in North Korea. Land of the free, home of the brave. We're going to come back and take some overdrive calls. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Gold. InfoWarsHealth.com. Extremism, badness, evil is there. Freedom, badness. Don't filter your water. Don't filter your water. What do you have to hide? Drink the fluoride. Drink it. Drink it. In the last 2 years alone, the U.S. has seen huge losses to our food supply. In 2011, storms and floods raged across the U.S., costing us $20 billion in lost crops alone. In 2012, we saw the largest drought in the country in more than 50 years. You may think out of sight, out of mind, and so you don't think you will be affected. The fact is, you are. We all are. Food shortages drive prices up for everyone. You might not be able to control Mother Nature, but you can control your food prices by freezing the cost and availability of your food supply with eFoods Direct. Be prepared before you need it. With nutrient-dense food you can store for up to 25 years. You can hope for the best, but hope won't feed you. Do what I've done and get your own supply of the best storable foods out there from eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633 or visit them on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex and check out their spring specials. Again, that number is 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Stay in attack formation. I'm on the leader. All right, let's go to Tony in Florida. Tony, you're on the air. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, thanks for your time, Alex. Nice to talk to you.
Good. Thank you for calling, brother, and holding. Go ahead.
All right. Real quick about Benghazi. Recently, 17 nuclear missile officers were replaced. I don't know if you followed that story.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me just go into intuition I had maybe 10, 15 years ago. I don't remember when. I don't know how that works. It just happens, right? So I just thought, like, with all this New World Order stuff, as I was learning about it with the emergence of free information on the Internet, that there's some good guys out there that are secretly plotting against these people. So when I heard about Benghazi, well, first I heard about it with you, but then weeks later it became mainstream news.
But there are a lot of good people in government and corporations that are plotting against evil.
So, yeah, and then later on I hear from other sources about these white hats. So I think that this getting rid of these nuke officers, they may have been under the control of the bad guys. So they removed them, and then they break with Benghazi.
Well, I know this. There's continued wars going on. That's not an opinion. There's always white operations and black operations. And the FBI agent that won't do corrupt stuff, he goes and investigates local bank robberies, missing kids. They're compartmentalized. The dark side of operations that used to be maybe 10%, it's more like 30 or 40 now. They sit there laughing at the white hat guys who they use for PR and stuff, and who they just all literally call morons. This has come out. CIA, FBI, it's all the same. I've had some family that got into black operations, and all they've said is, my God, you're on target. Absolutely, this government's evil. And that's another big lie, that people never get into black operations, bad black operations, because black can just mean secret, and then never get out of it. Most people actually do refuse. It's like half the CPS every year nationally quits. New CPS graduates with, multiple degrees in social work, half of them quit. Because they go to work and find out it's a big pedophile operation. And they freak out, they whistle blow, they get fired. It's just hellish, man. It is hellish. the stuff that goes on. And you know, John Birch Society was full of former military officers, including generals, who found out we were funding communists. And I don't mean just the down-the-street communist. I mean, here's the argument. Well, you know, the Texas police let this certain motorcycle gang run the meth because they control that. That way it's not the Mexican mafia doing it because they don't want the Mexican mafia taking over Texas. Or we grow the opium in Afghanistan because Al-Qaeda will get the money if we don't do it. And then it's, you know, 10-fold, 13-fold increase in opium production after we liberate Afghanistan. I mean, it's just we're going to run the child kidnapping so it's under control, so it doesn't get too out of control. I mean, that's how this evil argument works, Alex. You've got to make compromises and, you know, join the New World Order. There's good people in it. You get in the inside and work. Well, some people got in on the inside believing all this and are now trying to do good things. So, yes, we're not operating in a vacuum. Thanks for the call. Let's talk to PJ in Ohio. We got 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex, first-time caller.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Corey. I apologize. I've been on hold for about an hour, and I'm kind of lost track of my original
It's
thoughts.
okay. It doesn't matter. Well, you've got 20 seconds. It's wonderful.
Okay. You know, everyone types, you know, we talk about our precious resource, you know, water.
Our precious bodily fluids, yes.
Well, I think what we're taking for granted right now is time. That's something can never be regained. And what we have in place with the time, it's almost like a distraction. We're fighting little skirmishes, and we're being distracted.
I'll tell you what, Mandrake. Stay there. I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Sure.
Mandrake, you know about plans to fluoridate ice cream, Mandrake? Children's ice cream? I mean, gentlemen, we can't allow fighting in the war room. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Hi, my name is Annette, and due to menopause symptoms for nearly 2 years, I suffered severe hot flashes, which prevented me from sleeping all night. It was so hard to work because I continued all day to have the hot flashes from hell. I was exhausted and depleted. After only 3 weeks on One World Way, I have no hot flashes, and I'm sleeping normally again. I feel energized and strong. This is an amazing product.
It is a little-known fact that every single cell of your body is supposed to produce 10% of its protein content as glutathione. But due to toxicity and aging, it does not. Could glutathione be a missing factor in optimal cell function for your entire body? If you restore the optimal glutathione levels in your cells, especially your glands and organs, then as a result, your glands and organs work better. Imagine the quality of life improvement you might have. To order One World Way, call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We're going to have some real treats on InfoWars Nightly News tonight, 7 o'clock Central. I'm into overdrive right now. It's 2 o'clock and 8 minutes here, Central Standard Time. I want to go to the phone callers that are holding. I'm going to get to you right now. A couple of new developments via Infowars.com. We're also up on DrudgeReport.com. It has the best Obamagate coverage, I think, out there, bar none. And it's making the system very upset that Drudge is showing the compendium of lies. Then we're going back to PJ. But first, let's put it up on screen. They're now not saying it was 200 groups. They're now saying it's 500 groups. And then, of course, it'll be 5,000 groups. The IRS harasses basically anybody who isn't a complete authoritarian, mentally ill person. If you're not part of their sick freak cult of losers and parasites and scum, they're coming after you. And I say, good, come after everyone. It's time for everybody to start suing the IRS, exposing it as a Federal Reserve collection agency that's destroyed this country. It is now time to realize that we're being overrun by lawless criminals in this nation who are just legalizing illegal aliens by fiat. Then I have articles like this one, court rules against German homeschooling family seeking asylum who is facing prison since 2008. They've been in the U.S., because they're trying to raise their children as homeschooling, and that is a felony in Germany. And so they had to flee Germany. Their children will be taken by the state. And Hitler, of course, did that, so that's why Germany is very excited about that, because the state wants to raise your kids. They do such a great job at everything else, and then they turn them into black uniform people. In fact, will you punch up Infowars.com for me? I want to show people a Boston photo just of the cops driving around in tanks like demonic ferrets, just playing soldier and taking themselves so seriously, looking for the government patsy, who we know that was all a setup. And, of course, the average cop isn't a terrorist. They're just like the general public, like Arrested Development 5-year-olds, but with guns. I'm not trying to go off into a jag about police today. It's just I'm so sick of it. All right, the other article is they're now spinning it. 2 rogue employees persecuted the Tea Parties and demanded college students tell them their reading list. Meanwhile, the rest of the media is defending it, saying it's good to target people. You shouldn't be allowed to be a conservative. So it's 2 rogue people. Maybe they'll end up falling down and hitting their heads or something. The good part about it is none of these evil people will escape their own system. PJ, you were making a point about we're fighting too many battles. I cover all the news so that people hear different things that they think are important to get people to become aware of the big picture. I think specializing is what has allowed people to be ensnared. Like if I talk about cops shooting unarmed people in Austin more and more for no reason, and they ask, why is it happening? Well, we know it's instinctive shooting training. It's the police in total fear. And it's like a horse. If it sees a gum wrapper blow, that's why they put blinders on horses. Horses will go crazy and run through a wall. And the cops are just like, Al-Qaeda's everywhere. I did that skit a few years ago or last year about, Alex Jones joins Homeland Security, or what was the name of them where I joined Big Sis? I forget the name of that piece. Alex Jones joins the New World Order is another one where I tell the office what they can and can't eat because, Obama now in Denver and Chicago tells the kids the parents can't pack their lunch. I did that piece, but I did another really funny one where Homeland Security saying, watch out for anybody paying with cash or whatever. It's a real FBI flyer. And then I go into Rudamaya Coffee and have like a freak out in the bathroom because there's terrorists everywhere, and I'm convinced they're under the counter. I mean that's what's happening. And so the cops pull you over, and if you're a motorcycle gang person, they bow down in fear. But if you're a family, they get to play commander on you. Let's go ahead. And PJ, go ahead and make your point. I'm sorry.
No, what you were saying with the skirmishes, that's not necessarily it's a bad thing. I mean, all these skirmishes have to be manned, but it's like you said, it's a distraction, and it's what the mainstream media is putting out is really it's the look here. It's like the old the graph when the guy with the cups and pee, follow the pee. Look at this, and it's all distraction while our sovereignty and our basic liberties are being taken from us.
No.
Well,
you don't support the Constitution, do you? You may have to be investigated.
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, I'm already a veteran, so I'm sure I'm on the short list anyway. People lose sight of that we, the people, our rights are granted by the Creator. And government's just there to ensure these rights.
Oh, now you're getting more extreme? You believe in a God other than government?
Yeah, and I pity those that don't. But at the end of the day, we're faced with some real serious challenges.
More conspiracy theories.
It's funny, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, they label me a conspiracy theorist, and it's like, oh yeah, that's me. You can't. It's just too much. There's just too much out there, and it's something big is happening, and they've dumbed. Our children are being dumbed down. People are dumbed down. The only information they get is what they, get on mainstream media.
But it's okay. They're coming out with vaccines that make you never have anxiety again. Soon, it's going to be nothing but bliss. Take the shot, PJ, and everything's going to be a rapture. Then you won't be upset when the hard kill bioweapon gets released, PJ. You're going to get to be scooped up and put into mass graves, PJ. You'll get to be in big piles of dead bodies for Earth.
It was funny. I was watching just really late last night. I was watching that piece that you did with Jesse Jackson. I'm sorry, Jesse Ventura, and covering the FEMA.
No, they're very similar. I can see how you could mix those two up. Can you imagine Jesse Jackson with Jesse Ventura's Alex, the Rainbow Coalition is the way to go. A Navy SEAL, a fighter.
He's got some
Alex, I'm leaving the United States. A TSA Gestapo. I'm sorry.
I thought I heard you say something about that today, that you may be forced to do the same with your family. And that's what the sad part is. This is our country. No,
we've let a bunch of crazy criminals that have a hunger to dominate people because no one ever liked them run things, and they're going to run crazy. It's what they do. They're not going to stop. They're lunatic scum, and all of you that have decided to serve it, good. Good. You're going to get it good from your own system. I appreciate your call, sir. The video was something like Snitch Society, Infowars.com. It's a funny video. It's like where I run around the parking lot and we play Mission Impossible music. Let's talk to Karen in Idaho, another evil extremist. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hey, Alex. I want to talk about money.
Oh.
And first I want to tell you, I'm a first-time caller, love your passion, love your music that you play.
Oh, thank you.
I think a prelude to what I'm going to say, we should be playing Donald Trump's The Apprentice, Money, 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 that song. I wanted to be proactive and ask questions, so I handle my mom's estate. Something just happened this morning that was really interesting. Something big is going down. There's a big investment bankerage firm. I could say the name if you wanted me to, but the guy I was talking to said, look, you handle your mom's estate. If something were to happen, we were just in meetings yesterday talking with government officials. The rules and procedures are changing.
Ooh, they were talking to an official. Ooh.
And I said, well, if I need this money to do this and some, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, you're not going to get it. I mean, our hands are tied too. I mean, it's changing.
No. They've already done it in Europe. They're doing it here. They're having congressional hearings where they take all the money out of your bank account. No judge, no jury. They take your house. That's why the cops are trained to show up and kill you. They're going to take everything. And they'll send cops to their buddy's house to take it, and they'll kill him if he tries to keep his house. And they're going to love it. Oh, no. Listen, they are taking old peoples who end up in nursing homes who are just fine. They're showing up and telling the family, we're taking everything, no judge, no jury. They're just taking everything. They do what they want. They take people's houses now that are paid for 15 years ago in cash that Bank of America never even had a deed on. I mean, that's how criminal it is, because it's all about the force of the government. They want a civil war. They want to force it because this is their time of criminal takeover. What else was he telling you?
Well, he said it's her money, but, since you handle it, and if she were to pass or whatever, and you handle it, if it goes to anybody else, I mean, she might as well use it now, because if it, you're not going to see it.
Wow, you actually talked to an honest person. So this was a brokerage firm, a bank? Who was it?
UBS.
Oh, yeah, UBS. That's, absolutely. They've been taking money out of UBS all the time. The government's already been feeding on that. It's kind of like the new Bear Stearns they're about to snack on.
But what do I tell my mom? I mean, she's elderly. I mean, it's like a joke. I don't want to scare her.
Ma'am, why do you think you get to keep the money you already paid taxes on 5 times? What do you? This is land of the free, home of the brave. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how dare you?
Well, you're awesome. I just wanted to say that. And, just keep up the good work.
Ma'am, God bless you. Listen, what was he advising you to do, though? He could have been trying to fearmonger you to get you into invest in something else. What was he saying?
Told him, call my mom ASAP and tell her that she needs cash out. And she needs to have a reserve that's accessible, that we, the people are handling it in case she was just in the hospital. And, because she doesn't have enough in the bank to just take care of day-to-day needs. And obviously, if we needed X amount of money to take care of her, to set her up where she wants to get up at, rest home or whatever, then I can't get it. She says, oh, just call UBS, they can handle it. I'm like, no, they can't handle it.
Well, no, a lot of times now, once a person is elderly, they steal the money and block it from the kids. A lot of these government people and groups do. But I don't think government's the threat. I think we should give up all our rights and due process and checks and balances and just spy on everybody but the government. No one can be trusted but the government, ma'am. But being serious, I appreciate your call. God bless you. We're going to come back and take more calls. We're going to talk to Tim in Kentucky, Yote in Kansas, and David in California. The name of that video I was telling you about is America, with a K, America, Land of the Snitch. Very good video.
For nearly 20 years, Alex has been the voice of warning on threatening issues that the big media won't dare talk about. Threats that trample the American dream. You know what we all face. A crashing economy that's forcing millions out of work and from their homes. Half of Americans need help just to feed themselves. Legalized pollution of our food is sickening us with cancer and disease. The food you can trust in facing any of these threats comes from eFoods Direct. It tastes great and stores up to 25 years, ready for when you need it most. Be smart and be prepared for whatever life throws your way with your own food supply from eFoods Direct. Call eFoods Direct at 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Get a free evacuation kit with select purchases. This kit is a $200 value and is perfect as a bug-out bag or for emergencies. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find out more.
Hey there, my name is Frank Bates. Do you know the #1 most valuable item in a crisis? Some people think the answer is gold. Others think it's a gun. But the correct answer will shock you. I just created a free video at crisis123.com that reveals a surprising item that is more valuable than gold in a crisis. 97% of Americans don't have this one critical item. In fact, they haven't even given it a thought. And the sad truth is that you may not survive without it when a real crisis hits and a starving mob is right outside your door. What I have to tell you could literally make the difference between life and death for you and your family. Watch my video at crisis123.com to discover the #1 most valuable item in a crisis. You'll be shocked. See the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in the last 3 months. Go watch my video now at crisis123.com before they force me to shut it down. Again, that's crisis123.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
What do you do when your propane runs out and you don't have a large amount of wood for cooking? That's when you need a Grover rocket stove from StockStorage.com. The Grover rocket stove starts easily with any combustible material like junk mail, small twigs, leaves, weeds, or dry sagebrush. Then just add a small amount of kindling wood and you'll be cooking entire meals in minutes. Grover rocket stoves are made right here in the USA and are built to last a lifetime using heavy-duty thick-gauge steel and are painted with high-temp paint to withstand heat. Go to StockStorage.com and see 3 great Grover rocket stoves, stainless steel, heavy duty, or our original Grover rocket stove for only $135 and get free shipping to the lower 48. For phone orders, call 801-361-6984 or go to StockStorage.com. That's 801-361-6984 or StockStorage.com. The original Grover rocket stove minimal wood use cooking stoves, available exclusively from StockStorage.com.
Your own personal Jesus. Was I taking a call?
Your own.
Why did I decide to keep staying on air?
Personal Jesus.
Song must be about Obama for his supporters.
Someone to hear your prayers. Someone who cares.
Someone to run torture camps and get Nobel Prizes for it.
Your own.
Sitting by the phone, you're all alone.
Jesus. Someone to hear.
Why did I continue on? There was a reason I held over even longer. I guess to take phone calls. Oh, I wanted to talk to Tim in Kentucky and then David and others. Tim in Kentucky. Police raided his house wrongfully. Well, sir, you being alive is the problem, okay? You are a threat to the government. You are an enemy. And if you say you support the Constitution, we're going to have to send you to a FEMA camp. What do you have to say for yourself, sir?
I was naked in the shower when they came in on me, and they actually pulled me outside and pulled me off of my property, and now they're trying to attempt it never even happened. And I have 2 pending lawsuits, one of property damage and one of violation of constitutional rights, civil rights. The problem is none of the local lawyers will take the case because they're saying that they can get out of it with some a good faith clause, and they're scared to take the case. And they're making it well known that they're watching me. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. Even the local newspaper, it had the entire raid in the paper, and they completely failed to mention me. I go to mention it, and people were telling me to be quiet, just shut up, let it pass, and I'm lost.
Well, here's the deal. You know, the guy that shot the video where he went to the Grove Hotel, he lives in England, and the police come over and kind of get in his face and stuff. He now is intimidated by the police and doesn't want to come on, and I'm trying to explain to him, he's a listener, that's why we're so enslaved, because everyone grovels to them. They start thinking it's normal for them to bug their eyes out and act like you're bad. Like, why are you videotaping where there's helicopters and guard shacks being set up? And the guy's like, well, I'm a media guy. I mean, I'm interested in this. Okay, well, we're going to put you in a database. You know, let's put them in a public database. And the cop's like, you better not put me on the internet. These are people spying on us all over the world, and they really think they're the good guy and we're the bad guy. And it's time to go. Quit treating me like I'm a criminal. I mean, look at that cop, that smug smile she has. Just the power trip. I mean, I think I'm going to go buy like a crown and stuff and just start walking around in it and like be delusional and go, I'm the king of the earth. I mean, that's all it is. And like there's, because everybody grovels to the police and then it just goes to their head, and it's North Korea, man. Then they get out of the car and try to intimidate him. They got helicopters over him. And then he's going to visit some guy and they get in that guy's face. And the cop's like, why are you upset? And, you know, like, you're violating our rights. Plus, my wife just died in the hospital last week of one of their little infections. It doesn't matter, though. These cops, I mean, just look at this. I tell you, watch the body language of the female cop. It is unbelievable. The saddest. Look, she starts caressing things here and, like, starts rubbing on the seatbelt deal. And they just love it. And it's all about judging you, and they're in the power position. And they're just constantly pressing on the nerve of power. It's just sick. It destroys free society. It destroys free association with all these preening socialists in uniforms. I mean, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing worse than socialists in uniforms. And I bet bottom dollar about those cops if I could talk to them. I'm going to England. Maybe I'll run into them. I'm going to ask them, are you a socialist? I bet you're a so-called liberal. You can just tell. Look how satisfied that female cop is right there. Because, you know, the guy's daring to talk back to her, and she's just like, oh, oh, oh. Of course, in America, that guy'd be tasered and taken to a camp and, you know, given a false charge of assault. Oh, she's laughing. Look, a slave's talking to me. A slave talking to me, you filthy scum. Pay my check. Ugh. Pay my check right now and learn to love it. Learn to love your God. Learn to love your ruler. Anyways, since everybody's telling you, look at her laughing at him. Peasants. I think the police in England should start wearing crowns, and the public should have to groom their stools as well, because I mean that's how you really prove, you know, to the nobility that you appreciate them is to worship their droppings. Okay, I'm a little out of control here today, ladies and gentlemen, but it's true. It's true. It's real. She's going to lecture him some more. Then they get out and follow him around and all this stuff. We just want to put you in a database. We're filming you everywhere, but you're not allowed to film. Do you understand? Sir, of course the cowards in your area are saying bend over to it. Because they're all being abused as well, and they think that's how they create North Korea, which is the heaven they're wishing for. So you've just got to say no to them. Do you understand?
Yes, but that's the thing. See, now I have 2 psych appointments that I didn't even know about that are scheduled for next week, an hour before the place opens, with apparently 3 people. And
no, but you don't have to go to their psych evaluation. They break in your house. Now you're saying they did it. They're saying they didn't. Next they'll say Benghazi didn't happen. It's all baloney, sir. You're in a local good old boy boss hog system, and that's why you're in trouble, because these people think they're God. They put on a uniform, they're God.
We're on the march.
North Korea. North Korea!
Alex
and if you don't like
Jones
it, you're evil. You're crazy.
Network.
Crazy like a fox. Crazy for liberty. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalists on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and T-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
We've lived in this neighborhood for years.